What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Ships. Bro, how are you doing today?
I'm tired.
You're tired? Strange. Why could that possibly be?
I know, I had a particularly rough night last night. It's been rough. Anyway, how are you?
Listen, is it as bad as James? Apparently, he's been having...
one sleepless night.
Apparently, he did it to himself.
He did. Frick him.
So it's almost rubbing it in your face. It's like
really is.
You're trying to sleep and you can't.
I saw a tweet.
He's purposely leaving sleep on the table.
I've been awake for 27 hours. Like, yeah, welcome to the club. Like, here's your silver medal. You know, like. I need to get my sleep schedule back in order. Bro, you're in 100% control.
Yeah, yeah.
You set all of your work hours. You set all, like, what are you doing?
This is your thing. You're supposed to be in control of it. You know, I set up a play date, I should call it, with Gamesmaster in our Patreon, our new Patreon and whatnot. We was going to play The Quarry together because we spoke about it on the podcast. And he contacted me and it was really cool. Hard to work out because the guy lives in Upside Down Land.
Yes.
And I was like, cool. I can only play it with you then, it turns out, 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's do something. So we worked it out. It turns out the Quarry's online multiplayer isn't live until the 8th of July. So
sick.
We both woke up or both stayed up and did it. It was like, cool. All right then. So let's just talk for a couple of hours then. So we did that. But he didn't know the whole thing with your sleep.
Oh, yeah.
He goes like, you guys mentioned it, but what is that thing with Sheps' sleep? And I was like, oh shit. We sort of mention it offhand because we sort of think that everyone knows. But every now and again, we need to say like, Sheps has a abusive relationship with sleep.
Right.
Like he wants her, but she don't want him.
Yeah. Sleep is my Amber Heard.
And he just can't get any of it, you know. That's what it is. So that's the whole thing going on there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that. So you haven't been playing The Quarry. Is there anything you have been playing?
Yes. So we could talk about what we've been playing.
Mass Effect.
No.
Halo.
No, he said don't be silly. Me and Adriana played more of Resident Evil Village.
Which one's Village? The one with Madam Talent.
Madam Talent.
Yeah,
yes,
cool.
Exactly. And we played a little bit of it, and then we just sort of put it on the back burner while we were moving house and things like that. Yeah. And you know, I wasn't talking to her because you know she was like, "Oh, I'm tired" and stuff like that. I'm like, "Baby, you need to do this."
She's jealous of Madam Dummy Mummy or whatever her name is.
Exactly. But after that, she was just like, "Why don't you go to see her?"
Maybe I will.
Maybe I will.
You don't know the sort of things they can do in Auto Blow 2 these days.
And we played some of that, and the game is much bigger than we thought. Especially because like we only played like a couple of hours.
I thought it was only like 8 hours long though. That's what I heard.
Well, this is the thing. It might be that long, but we obviously are a bit dumb, so we're just like taking our time. But
preaching to the choir. Yeah.
In the first couple of streams that we did, we killed the extremely hot vampire chicks, and then their mother, Lady Dimitриus, who's the taller chick and whatnot.
Oh, you murked her?
Murked her, and was like, cool. Well, actually, no, we murked her in this stream.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, I thought she was it. I thought that was it.
Yeah, she's the big bad from the thing, right? We all knew that Mr. X was the big bad from the one before.
Right. So I was like, and when we defeated her in this stream, I was like, oh, so are we close to the end? And people are like, no, you're not even close. And it turns out there's like 3 other big boss people that you need to go fight.
Are they bigger and badder?
Unfortunately not. They get creepier and weirder.
Oh.
There was one...
How disappointing.
There was one where I was in a very poorly lit, almost PT-style house.
Nightmare Fuel, yeah.
And there was a giant aborted fetus chasing me, crying behind me.
That's awful.
It was as awful as you think, because there was one time where I need to get to an elevator. The elevator's fuse is blown, so I need to find a new fuse. And then when I put the fuse in, the button didn't work straight away. And I'm like...
already getting anxiety from this.
And
it's like, no.
And all you hear behind you is this like crying noise of a baby like... I'm like, oh my God. See, I'm scared.
I'm open to like the sexy vampire, dummy mummy, like horror porn game. Like I'm down for that. That's
like,
about as far as I can go.
I'm gonna suck the life out of you. I'm like, baby, shit.
I bet you will.
This ain't my first rodeo, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But like horror games don't really my thing. Do you know what's dumb though? Is I feel like every time I say any opinion, I immediately contradict it with like Dead Space will come up, and I'll be like, "Those are fantastic. I really want to play Callisto Protocol, whatever it's called. Project Callisto. What's it called?
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, I don't want to play it. I feel compelled to play it because I loved the Dead Space games, and they're horror, but not like super horror. They're horror in the way like Doom's horror, basically, right? Except you're not Doom guy. I'm just not about it.
I honestly think you have the best relationship with horror games because there are some games that you'll dabble with, but then some that are just over the line.
Yeah.
Like
PT,
we've said many times, the sci-fi version of it was very cool. But then that's very close to the actual horror of like Alien Isolation.
Right.
And then it's like, whoa, no, can't go that far. And then you go too far this way. You're like, okay, this is too far. Then you go, oh, no. So you would be perfect to play these kind of games.
I think I don't like anything horror that's going to be like so creepy that when I try to go to sleep, the second I shut my eyes, I'm worried something's looking at me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that feeling. I don't like that at all. So I don't like that kind of horror. But I'm more in the like Friday the 13th and stuff. Stupid movies like Jason and Halloween and stuff. Like they're not kind scary. They're like popcorn horror. I don't mind those. I wouldn't really pick it, but I don't mind it. I want my games to be sort of more popcorn horror. So like in the sense of like Dead Space, it's pretty far-fetched. Yeah. If you really think about it, you're not going to shut your eyes and be like, oh my god, am I accidentally on a ship 200 years from now in space with something from Mars that's no. Right. Too many leaps. Oh my days.
Oh, phone's gone. There you go.
Anyway, so you've been playing that.
Yes, that's all I've been playing, really. I did promise one Sean that I would play a game that he opened my eyes to, Tetris Effect, but I'm a filthy liar and I didn't. It's essentially a Tetris game, but all I've heard about the game is that it has a battle royale in it almost.
What?
So what it is like 100 people connect over the internet, and they all play Tetris, and the last person to survive wins. So it's like if you fail, then you get knocked out.
Competitive Tetris.
It's quite fun actually. I remember it being the rage at one point, but I haven't played it. I promised him I would play it, but as I said, I'm a filthy liar.
It's true.
I didn't play that.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust you as far as I can throw you. So
exactly. But that's all I've played so far. It's been a bit of a busy week and whatnot. I've been doing a bit more things around the house. Need to empty out the shed that we've got back there, which was just full of spiders.
I was going to say, you mean the spider nursery?
Yeah, full of spiders. And sometimes you see like cocoons
so you burnt it down,
nests.
Right?
I said my girl goes in there. She's like, "We need to clear it out," and I'm like, "Okay, how do you plan on doing that?"
Right.
Because there's no chance I'm going in there.
They basically built the house. Maybe you can pull your weight a bit. Right.
Maybe. Right.
How's she with spiders?
I'm looking after the baby.
She can walk.
Exactly. No, but
we're this close to getting her a job. Okay, we've got a CV out there.
We got the stuff out of there, and I was like, yeah, but that doesn't still like there's still cobwebs everywhere, and there's like nests in corners. What do we do? And she's like, power wash it. So I'm like, okay.
That's actually not a bad idea. Well,
but then it's all like damp in there afterwards, and it's not like it's ventilated or anything.
Yeah. You'd need to get like a heat lamp or whatever it is in there to dry it out. And also, all that would really happen is you'd just get these really angry spiders with wet hair.
I was going to say, now I'm pissed.
Right. Imagine getting woken up by a bucket of water thrown on your face.
I'd be not happy about that. Not happy about that.
Spiders, just like kids, 1,000 children appear.
This is how that movie Tarantula started. Someone spilled a glass of water and it's like, you what, motherfucker? Well, that's it.
I forgot about that movie. Have you seen Arachnophobia?
No.
That's awful as well. You'd hate it. Yeah.
There's a reason probably why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's literally called The Thing.
You just look at the cover. I'm like, no.
Yeah. No. That's not. Nope.
Bro.
Yes.
Speaking of things that I don't want to look at.
Yeah.
Our super bros over at patreon.com/Conbrosations support us at the $15 tier. These guys are legends. They help keep everything happening here. It's absolutely amazing what you guys are doing. Speaking of people, I did get an email just now to tell me that the t-shirts have been shipped to come to us. So soon you guys will be getting that. The delivery's coming from I don't know where the fuck, because it's like, yeah, cool, 15th of July. I'm like, that's over 2 weeks away. Like, I ordered some special pills, some supplements.
Yes, you did.
And those came in 2 days from America. Where the fuck is this coming from?
For anybody that isn't aware, January the 6th-ish, somewhere around the early January, we do Conbrosations Day, right? It's like our birthday celebration. And we had some Patreon t-shirts.
We did.
And they're gonna arrive here in the middle of July.
Yes.
Because it's been a big palaver. Put it this way, if you get something from us and it comes to us and we go to sign it and realise it's not good enough, we're not having it.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with, which is annoying because everything else that's come from, I forget who we use, it's been good.
Yeah, when we ordered like my t-shirt that I ordered, that was like
so
cool.
you ordered the same design but a different t-shirt material because I think you prefer, I don't know, or it came in a different colour. So you picked that. That looked good. I saw it the day I came around to do the signing stuff, for like personalised messages and stuff, and I'm like, man, these look really good. And you're like,
wait,
what do you think
of these ones?
That's right, you didn't tell me because you were waiting for my opinion.
Like, what do you think of this?
No, not happy with that. Yeah, especially I think if I hadn't seen your t-shirt, it might have slipped past. But having seen what I was expecting, and then being able to compare it. So anyway, there's a reason you guys haven't got t-shirts. We've been, oh my days, they take ages to reply to us as well. It's like the message is going by freaking carrier pigeon. Or something.
I'm at the point. Maybe we should save this for the Conbrosations podcast, because those are the guys that really care and they want to.
Yes,
but there's also an issue with their customer service that I'm on the edge of maybe hating them and maybe switching to someone else. But we'll figure out anyway. We'll see how it goes. Maybe after this we find someone else. Yeah. But anyway, back to the people that we don't want to look at. Like I said before, people that also hate, just like the people that make these t-shirts. Our boys over at patreon.com/Conbrosations who support us, keep everything going. Those
except your lungs.
Except my lungs. I don't need that. Again, we'll talk about it later. Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Catsbud the Friendly Patron, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy Thief Fanatic, Joe McCormack, Clark, the 53rd, the super sexy producer Sean, my juicy left nut, the fakest bat fan, the Batfish, Mikey T, the gamer giant, and Kevin, the #1 simp. That was extra risky because of my lungs that I
know.
Up.
I was like, wow, he's really going for it.
You're going to take a breath?
You're going to breathe? You're going to risk it?
Short breaths are where it's at. Right. Don't do these big ones. Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at the True Gamer Podcast.
We appreciate you.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Zach. I forgot to do it on the last podcast because it was the day of the podcast and things were a bit hectic. But congratulations to Zach for having a baby. The second baby in the Conbros. Yeah, fucking copycat.
Get a bit of a more original idea.
No one before had a baby. I came along and did it first.
Blaze the trail.
Exactly. And now he's like, oh, let me follow these trails. But congratulations.
I want to be just like him when I grow up. I know.
Had a beautiful little baby girl.
He did.
It's been going so great.
Called her Isla 2.
Little Isla 2, that's what they call it. We're calling
it Isla
2.0. That's
right.
Although it's just filled with more bugs than that is with Conbrosations, tech issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Zach. It's really awesome. It's good to hear. I do love, did you see his t-shirt that he made?
Yes, I did.
I love that he went that way because now it's set a trend.
Oh,
the next person has to do
Zach
it.
Wearing a t-shirt of Zach, wearing a t-shirt of you, holding Isla, wearing a t-shirt of the tweet, just get her pregnant.
If it doesn't happen now, you've ruined it. Everyone has to do this from now.
You're out of the community.
Ben, if you're he's bound to get someone pregnant, right? When you do that, you have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Get a t-shirt of Zach, of me wearing a t-shirt, and all of the babies in one photo. It'd be fantastic. So
yes, indeed.
So make that I might get that printed out and then put somewhere in the community. On the back
that would be cool. A t-shirt with a picture of Zach holding his baby, wearing a t-shirt of you holding your baby, wearing a t-shirt of a tweet from James saying "just get her pregnant."
Do you know what? That would be the most meta t-shirt to wear at a meetup. Just to go there and I'll just make that t-shirt. Be like, how's it going, guys? It's a picture of Zach. Oh, fucking, that's great.
Yeah.
That's just so great right there.
Well, now I want one of those.
Yeah, now we need to make it. All right, that's it. We're doing it, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Zach.
Before we get started with our our normal podcast segments.
Yeah.
The thing that's probably in the title.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut in right here.
15 minutes in.
I'm going to cut in right here with our podcast within a podcast. Is God of War delayed or not? Welcome everybody to Is God of War delayed or not? Our podcast within a podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro with the most below, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
No problem, bro. Today we're going to discuss whether or not God of War is delayed or not.
This is a really good segment, actually, I think, because God of War news very niche. No one else is talking about it. We've never mentioned it before.
Exactly. It's not really something people talk about. But is everything okay? Oh, is your phone ringing? What an unprofessional podcast. This is the God of War.
I'm going to get kicked off. Are you kidding me?
Is God of War
going to get me kicked off the podcast?
This is the Is God of War delayed or not podcast, and you're ruining it, okay? So, since the last time we spoke,
yeah.
God of War was supposed to be delayed on revealed on the 30th of this month.
That's right.
That was as per the Snitch's tweet.
Yeah.
He posted a GIF of Kratos, and it was in binary. It was like 111110, which equals 30 if you put it into a binary calculator, leading people to think that it's going to be revealed. The release date is going to be revealed on the 30th of June. Other insiders came out to corroborate that, to say, yeah, that's what we're hearing. There's going to be a state of play on the 30th. Get hyped, everyone.
Not unless they shadow drop it today.
Exactly. And normally what PlayStation do is like maybe 3 days before they let people know. As of recording, this reveal is going to be today.
Yeah.
So
and it's not going to be today.
We haven't had an announcement of a state of play or anything like that. So that didn't work out.
That's right.
Corey did post this yesterday, a tweet saying, "Dear all, if it were up to me, I would share all the information when I know about it, but it's not up to me, so please be patient. I promise things will be shared at the earliest possible moment they can be. We make games for you. We get to make the games because of you." And that's all he posted right there.
Yeah.
Sort of like just to calm everyone down and to be like, no silence, but something's happening, something's not happening. Don't get too excited and stuff like that. Then people started coming out to say, okay, we haven't heard the announcement of a state of play, but apparently they're still going to drop a trailer and a PlayStation blog post of God of War giving the release date on the 30th, which is still could happen today. We don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm going to just have the PlayStation Twitter on refresh. Yeah.
Have it on refresh, but there is something to say. Some people said that maybe it's not going to be happening. So Jason Schreier, who we all just love over here,
and
said,
trust and care about.
Exactly. He wrote a tweet out saying, on God of War Ragnarok rumors, as of very recently, there was indeed a release date announcement planned for Thursday, the 30th of June. Per people familiar, recent tweets from Cory Barlog suggest that that's no longer happening. Basically, that tweet that we got yesterday. So to sort of calm people down, because he obviously saw the storm coming and let me get in front of it.
Right.
He says, still, as far as I know, the game has not been delayed, though. That says of Jason Schreier. Of course, we can't take his word fully because he's been wrong in the past.
And he's a games journalist, so not exactly trusted.
However, we did get this tweet today from Cory Barlog. So he wrote out saying, it was a tweet where someone said, has games ever made you cry? And he says, literally every time I play games, there's always something that makes me cry. And then someone commented underneath called The Gamer 1998 saying, why don't you just go ahead and tell us Ragnarok is delayed so we can move on with our plan, move on and plan the rest of our year. Seriously, this is getting frustrating.
Yeah.
Cory Barlog replied to that saying, because it's not. It's not him saying it's definitely coming this year, but it's him saying it's not delayed, right?
Yeah. Or maybe it's not been delayed yet.
True.
They might be
that's not in
about,
maybe it's not in the plan
yet. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what he's saying. That's the most up-to-date source of information, Cory Barlog. He did say one funny thing after this. So somebody called Randy McReady replied to him. Yeah. Great name. He said, then where the hell is it? Why are we waiting so long? And Cory replies to him saying, Randy, we're not McReady. The fucking greatest tweet ever. Oh my god, that is the best Twitter interaction of 2022. Done.
Yeah, god damn it, Corey. Because I want to beef him out now. So, first things first.
Yes.
Unless it happens today,
the
snitch is going to get what he deserves.
He's going to get burned.
Fricker. Stitches.
This is the thing. This guy is
burnt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get that now. I should have put that together.
I hate you so
Snitches
much.
Get stitches.
See what I have to work with?
Snitches do indeed get stitches. I know
You
that.
see,
I grew up in the hood.
You grew up in the hood. Like, I grew up in a rough area. You grew up in the hood. My guys would look at that guy. Nah.
Should have known this.
That's a shithole. I hate you so much.
Where do you land now after all this new information? We're getting daily information at this point with regards to...
I still don't think it's going to come until,
Yeah.
I think, like, first quarter of 23, which I'll be really happy to be wrong about. It doesn't feel ready. God of War for 2018, the hype cycle was really very similar to, like, Horizon, which I feel like does it really well. You know, they start about a year out, you get, like, a trailer, a teaser, and then a couple months later you get, like, a trailer, and then 8 to 10 months before it happens, you get like 15 minutes of gameplay, and then there's usually a second 15 minutes of gameplay that they drop, and then for some reason another trailer.
Yeah.
Like all out of order, but that's just how it goes. And we're like supposedly 3 months away from it.
Yeah.
So, although we have seen gameplay.
That's the thing. So I always compare this to the Starfield situation. Yeah. People obviously, whenever we say anything negative towards Starfield, like when I was saying leading up to the delay, I was like, there must be something wrong because we haven't seen anything of the game yet. And this thing's supposed to be launching in a matter of months. And people are like, no, it's just Bethesda.
Shut up, Sony pony.
I'm like, just take your own bias out of it for 1 second. And I'm
just
starting...
Here, hold this L for me real quick.
Exactly. I'm starting to feel the same way about God of War. The only thing that's holding me back is things like this tweet where he's saying it's not delayed, other people saying that it's not delayed, and also the fact that we have seen gameplay. Yeah,
and not like 12 seconds of it.
Right. And not deceptive gameplay, like I said, would be shown with Starfield, where it's like, that's a ship flying off into the sky.
Rendered in engine.
Definitely, it's definitely not going to be done like that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Had Corey not said anything here, I may have had more doubt cast over it. But the fact that he just says straight up, it's like, no, but it's not.
I mean, he did tell us it was coming last year as well, though.
That's true. They did start with that, and even though we didn't believe it, even though our eyes were completely not covered in wool, we was like, but why did you say it?
Yeah, there's no way, but why are you saying it?
Why are you saying it?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, yeah, like, I was 100% sure it wasn't coming 21. Like, I just knew that for a fact.
Yeah.
I think it's not coming this year. I'm at, like, 70, 80%. It's probably not, you know?
Yeah.
I will say, in defense of Starfield, obviously, that's built from the ground up. They don't reuse animations like God of War, so that would have made the God of War 15 minutes of actual in-game gameplay much easier to redo, because if Kratos gets into a boat, reused.
Exactly.
You know?
It's just DLC end of the day, so...
Basically.
I mean, it's
and
easy
Bethesda's
to show off that.
never reused anything. I mean, that game looks so different from any other game they've ever made.
Every Bethesda game that's come out has been completely different from
scratch.
Before. They had Fallout New Vegas, and then when they brought out Fallout 4, they're like, brand new.
Right.
Doesn't even look the same.
It's a different number, bruv.
And then they put 76, and it's like,
they jumped.
That's 72 more.
Exactly.
So it must be completely different. And it was. And Starfield looks also insanely different. Never doing that.
So different. No one's done anything like it before. So,
But God of War, final feelings, you think it might be delayed to early 2023?
The thing is that the problem is Corey, right? And it's not that I can't trust him, it's that I can't take him seriously.
He's a fucking troll.
He is a troll. And he did genuinely say it was coming in 21, and he acted like that wasn't him trolling.
Yeah.
And we knew there was no way. So I don't know if he just thinks this is him trolling or not, because he's kind of odd.
Yeah.
So it could just be him thinking like, haha, yeah, I'm trolling them, and it's like, no, Corey, this isn't it. Or he could really mean it and be like, as far as he knows, it's not delayed.
There was a troubling thought that me and Zacchino had.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the feeling of confidence from the way they're showing this game, or the lack of the way they're showing this game. It almost feels like I know people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm also saying this about God of War as well. So there's no fanboyism here. But I got the feeling the reason why they weren't showing Starfield off is because the pressure was mounting on them, and Bethesda aren't exactly the best at making video games. They've made great games in the past,
Right.
but even those games have had their problems in certain areas.
And none of those games are like groundbreaking. They're not going to blow anyone away with visuals, with the combat. Like
Exactly.
it's a formula. It's formulaic.
They
yeah.
do something great in it, and it's got great something inside it, which is like the whole like RPG aspect of it.
Yeah.
People love that kind of stuff. They do that great. That's cool.
Sure.
But the surrounding elements are something like that. And I had the feeling that the reason why they weren't showing it is because they kind of know that they're not the best. They're like, people are really hyping us up, and
This game doesn't live up to that hype. Yeah.
not that hype. It may be very good in the end. You might get some great enjoyment out of it, but not that hype.
Right.
And I'm getting the feeling that they're feeling the pressure on this. And while I think the story might be great, but is it going to be like the hype that everyone is seeing? Literally everyone is talking about God of War Ragnarok. So do you reckon that's what it is? That they're not as confident as maybe they should be, or we're hoping they are.
I know what you're saying. I don't know is the honest answer. I do think I said this like a month after the game came out. I was like, they should stop. Right? Because stop. But if they're going to do it, right? And I laid out a bunch of ideas. I don't think they should have made this game, personally. I want to play it, but I don't think they should have done it, right? And what I don't want is to wish that they hadn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's worse.
Yeah.
That's worse. Because if the game comes out and it's great, we're all going to love it, we're going to be happy. But the devastation we'll feel if they're like, man, I wish they hadn't done this, because
What I
it's
don't
ruined
want-
the first, or it's ruined the memory of it.
Almost worse. Like, if the game's awful, then it's actually kind of okay, because then you can be like, this is shit. Play God of War 2018 that just they never made it anymore. Like, they only made the 2 Dead Space.
Right.
They only made 3 Halos.
Exactly.
What I don't want is to play the game and be like, yeah, I'm having fun. Finish the game, hit credits, set down my controller and go, all right, next. And like, never mind. And just have nothing there, So, I know what you're saying about them not sort of having confidence, but they haven't delayed it. They have shown gameplay. The gameplay looks okay. I don't know. We're in a weird spot with God of War.
Yeah. It's just this negative space.
Yeah.
It's not like there's something for me to say that this is why I should be worried because of this thing.
Yeah.
Everything that we have seen is positive.
Yeah.
But then the lack of space in between those things, it's like, why is there so much void here?
Yeah. Like with Starfield,
is that
it's really
indicative of
easy
anything?
to put your finger on it. But like, this is really close to the supposed release date. We haven't seen any gameplay. Then the gameplay comes out and you go, that gameplay trailer, of the 10 minutes they showed, 3 was gameplay and the rest was like cutscenes and panning shots, which is okay, but
and then there was all problems all throughout them. It was like
frame drops and
performance
clunky
issues.
Yeah.
It looks kind of dated in certain areas. Some places look great,
Deceptive shots.
exactly, and then the whole thing where
Whereas
it's
the
like,
God of War stuff isn't.
that's the problem, and that's it, and it's so confusing. And
I'm with you. I'm confused, and I'm like, a little bit of me is kind of concerned, because you would think that there'd be more coming out, but then we have seen it, and in terms of like actually making the game run, this isn't a dig at God of War, but it only really effectively has to be DLC. They don't need to do much. It's basically graphical updates at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's a graphical update, maybe a few new animations and new enemies and stuff, but like,
on the positive side, I have a prediction.
Okay.
I think this God of War is going to look phenomenal. I do get what you mean, like it's going to be coming out on PS4 and stuff like that, so it's going to be holding it back, stuff like that. But the jump from Horizon Zero Dawn to Forbidden West was monumental. And I was like, shit, that's on PS4 as well, so clearly they put the dedicated time in to make the PS5 version look good. Granted, that's not what our issue was with holding back what we said. It's like,
correct,
we likely think there's a piece of tech that couldn't happen now because it's on thing.
Yeah.
But at least for looking wise, I think it's going to look phenomenal. And I'm going to put my money down on it and say that this is going to be one of the best looking games of PS5.
I think maybe I'm in the minority here, but I prefer the updated stuff, or the new God of War stuff, and the game Last of Us 1 remake.
Yeah.
Everybody's said, why does it look better from like the remaster? Like it doesn't.
Those people are crazy. Could you imagine saying that with your chest?
It
out
doesn't.
To be like,
it doesn't.
The remaster looks better. So what?
Because it doesn't. It looks how you remember it,
Yeah.
and they're changing some faces because, let's be honest, Tess looked 20, and like I'm all for it, but like that's not the character, you know. So Tess looks like, you know, a 40-year-old graying hair, stressed out MILF. That's what she would be. Ellie looks good. People go, why do their clothes look like static? Because it's a static shot of a moving item.
Yeah.
In an engine that's doing its best to recreate like natural gravity and stuff, way better than the old one did. And because it's not hitting it spot on, you're noticing that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one is relatively basic. So it like looks better because it all looks basic, so it all fits. Like no one complains about graphical issues with Minecraft. Let's say the original look of Minecraft, because it all looks that way. So nothing sticks out. No one goes, oh, why isn't the grass rendering properly? Because right, it's been made to look a certain way, so it all fits, and that's what you're noticing. But like, look at their faces. That's the thing people aren't doing. They're not looking at faces. They're not looking at dumb stuff like the rust on cars, right? And how it's like, or when glass breaks. Someone showed a side-by-side shot of the remaster and the remake of that first infected coming through the glass in Joel's house.
Yeah.
The remaster looks dog shit. It looks terrible. In the remake, it looks like someone's coming through glass. Yeah. It's so much better. So I don't know, man. Or like
it's going to
cuts
be,
and scrapes. Like it all looks right.
It's going to be absolutely hilarious when the thing comes out, because there's. The funny thing is that a lot of it's become like a console war thing as well.
Yeah.
There's people latching on simply because they just want to dogpile on PlayStation, and the same vice versa. You Sony ponies are really going to pay for this?
Yes!
Exactly. And the thing is, when the game comes out, all the people that are playing it are going to be in love, and they're going to totally see why they bought it, and they're going to be happy, and they're going to enjoy it. And then there's going to be the few idiots out there that are just going to be complaining, and it's going to be so funny to watch them just to be like, wow. You really are just happy to out yourself as a moron. All right.
Do you know what it's going to be?
All right.
It's going to be someone will go into photo mode in the middle of like a conversation, because it's real face mapping. You ever pause a movie and someone's in the middle of speaking and it's exactly. And they're going to look at these face animations. It's because it's a real face speaking. That's why it looks like that. You're just sorry it's not Minecraft Steve. Like that's all you have to play on Xbox. Anyway,
God of War.
God of War, that's right.
Aside from the confusion and the worriedness that maybe like something's gone wrong because we haven't heard anything, I am still excited for the game.
Yeah, me too.
I am still the God of War simp that you guys know me as.
Yeah, me too.
And
I will say,
when it comes out, I'll be playing it all in one day.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done telling the truth about games. And no matter how good or bad it is, God of War 2, best game ever made.
We here at the True Gamer podcast, the Sony ponies ourselves, will not let this game fail.
That's right.
This game will be a 10 out of 10.
We had that joke about like if Cyberpunk.
If I had stuck to it, that would have been so funny, at least for one podcast, where like I would have completely gone on the defensive for all of the criticisms that anyone done. I'd be like, but this is a fun.
It nearly broke my PlayStation. Well, maybe you should play on a more powerful thing. You're trying to at the peak of gaming.
This is your fault.
Gaslight the podcast, isn't it?
The worst part is that was the once in a lifetime opportunity because it went from such high to such a flop. That would have been so great. Anyway, that concludes the Is God of War delayed podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tune in next week. I'm sure something else will happen by then.
Now on to the rest of the podcast.
Yes.
The podcast without the within the podcast within the podcast. Just the
Outside
podcast. The meta podcast.
Let's get back to the actual stuff.
Yeah.
So, on today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about the next From Software game that apparently is closer than we think.
What?
I know. And then two...
I mean, in fairness, it's only going to be 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Just like Elden Ring.
Exactly. Speed run it in 10 minutes, done.
Right, exactly.
Apparently how the issues with Cyberpunk and the quality of it at launch was actually not CDPR's fault, and they're blaming it on their QA outside team that they hired.
No.
A new Marvel game being made by EA reportedly.
It's sub 6 minutes now. It's 5:58 to be Elden Ring.
Wow, that's fucking phenomenal.
Mate.
And two main topics. One of them that we're going to talk afterwards is going to be our second topic, is how there was possibly going to be a game similar to The Boys being made by Hideo Kojima that got cancelled.
I was going to say, I was about to beef you up, be like, oh, look, there you go, there's your Superman game.
But of course, it's not going to work, of course. And the topic of the show, has PlayStation lost sight a little bit of the little things? PlayStation will not be attending Gamescom this year. And I think PlayStation have really messed up with how little of the in-person events they're doing now.
That's what you mean by the little things. I was going to ask, okay.
There's some things they do great.
Let me stop you. I fully agree.
Yeah.
I'm completely in that camp.
Let's talk a little bit about this. So they've announced that Gamescom's not going to be happening. Yeah. And prior to today's information that we got about God of War, it was looking like God of War's release date was going to be just dropped as a random blog post on a Thursday with a release date.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where has PlayStation's 2016, 2017, 2018 bravado gone, where they make these huge events with live orchestras and multiple buildings, where they make like journalists move from one place to another to fit a theme. Like when they did The Last of Us Part 2, they hosted it, the start of it in a barn, because it was like the barn scene from in The Last of Us Part 2, and then they a church. Sorry, my apologies. And then they moved over to a bigger place, and I was like, what happened to that, PlayStation? You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And all right, these state of play style events are cool sometimes for smaller events, but when you've got something big, like God of War Ragnarok,
fly everyone to Sweden or wherever it is, Norway,
right into the fucking Nordic lands to show something off. And they're not going to Gamescom, so there's no one going to be trying out games and trying out hardware. Like, where else do people get hands-on with PlayStation VR 2 that's supposed to be coming out?
Right.
And we said as well, like, because last year there was rumors that PlayStation trademarked PSX again.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? At least if you're not going to do E3, if you're not going to do the other stuff, do a massive PlayStation event at the end of the year. Something people can look forward to and then go, yes, this is for gamers. This is for your PlayStation gamers. Do you feel PlayStation have lost sight a little bit of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I do. I think, because what you're talking about is like their hype cycle from like 2018, 2019.
That was some good shit.
It was some good stuff. And then we come into, everything that went down in the 2020s. And what I think has happened is they didn't see any drop-off from not doing it. And they've just gone, well, we don't need to do it. But the problem is, I think this is one of those hidden costs. It's like good customer service at a restaurant, right? Means that you're more likely to actually leave a tip, to leave a good tip when you do, and to come back because you know that the wait staff are going to look after you, right? As well as having good food. But like, you can have a restaurant with the best food with shitty waiters or wait staff. You're not going to go there very often, right? Even though what they actually do, the meat and potatoes, is still good. So the games can be phenomenal, but like it's those little things, it's community events.
That's a perfect analogy, by the way. I'm just thinking about it. PlayStation have the great meat and potatoes, like you said. The games are fantastic.
Right.
But if your wait staff or if the way you're presenting it, if the way you're getting out there is subpar, like it's starting to feel.
Right. And you don't feel like...
It can affect.
Yeah, you don't feel looked after. You don't feel like you're part of a community. That's why we've been saying it for a while, that Sony's very much exactly what we've always accused them of being, a soulless, faceless corporation. That the second they think they can make more money off you by exploiting you, they will. They need some human faces. Like, we want those OG like events where it's someone that someone that isn't for Spencer. It's like a human being that happens to be the face of a corporation. I want those little events. I want those fun things. I think they would benefit from doing an indie like an event.
That's what I think would be great, like a PSX, isn't it? Like you can have the main showcase of whatever first
like
party
we can
stuff
do showcase exactly. Do showcase for AAA and then be like, look,
there's indie stuff here.
There's indie stuff. There's some incredible games, and no freaking tell me you only play you limit yourself to AAA. Then go away. You can't gaslight customers.
So disrespectful to
gaslight your
customers.
player base. But like, hey, look, there's some incredible projects made by incredibly talented smaller teams. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd present that. And then, one, it's another event. Two, I'm seeing more of this human being who maybe goes and speaks to these people. And none of this like, so tell us a bit about your game. Like, bro, tell me about this. Or like, I played this, for research for this. What's the deal with this one really obscure thing? Like, if it was me, I will find the thing hidden under the bed, right? Yeah. I'm exploring everywhere. Why is that there? Right, saying that no one's ever asked them in an interview because no one's played the freaking game, but I have, and I've explored and I found like all the dumb stuff. Or like, what's the deal with this? The drawing of the astronaut, that's stapled to the wall there. Because like this guy doesn't have a kid. Oh yeah, that's a drawing that my nephew made, and he was like, put this in your game, and we did it. No one's ever asking that. I'm making it up, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Like some human interactions. Show us some cool indie stuff. Put on some events. Like I want to see the next God of War stuff. What they should do is make all the journos and stuff that turn up to the event sit in a Viking ship. Like take your freaking stuff, and then they should chain them to it like slaves and make them row to power the TV. And then once that's done, just put them actually into slavery where they can be productive.
Well, they actually be productive in the society that we live in,
right?
And not a fucking leech on life.
But like, what's wrong with that? Like, build a set ship, build like a Viking ship, like from Vikings, and do your thing. Why not?
This is
and then put it in your Sony museum.
Yeah, keep it as one of the things, right? So this is something that Xbox do kind of well.
They do.
They know how to put on a show.
They do.
They are very much. So the thing is that for what was before Halo and Forza?
Oh god, yeah. It was
Jesus Christ. I can't even think that far back.
Do you know what's funny is before that they were just hyping up Halo and Forza for the 2 years
for the
coming,
longest time, right?
It's really funny that you said that though, because Xbox are really good at putting on a show and have nothing to show. Sony have everything to show and don't put anything on.
This is what my point basically. So like, they've only had Forza and Halo.
Pretty much, yeah.
Forza was fine, but it's
Overdrive?
that's a long time ago. That was back in Xbox One era.
Oh yeah.
So
that was a really good event.
That was a good one. But so what I was thinking was, Forza came out. It was okay. The only thing is that it's a car game, so it's not really like anything to set the world on fire. Right. It was regarded well. That's fine, no problem.
Yeah, Forza's are always a banger.
Halo came out and largely failed what it was supposed to do. Yeah. It was a solid enough shooter. It's just, it was supposed to set the world on fire. It was supposed to be Halo is back again. It was supposed to be Microsoft's premier #1 IP has slapped cheeks, and Halo and Microsoft is back.
It did all the little stuff wrong. Exactly. Just like what you were saying, like the progression system in the online stuff, which everybody would have loved. They did that wrong. You don't feel taken care of. You don't feel like there's any reason to play it.
Exactly.
And you leave. It doesn't give you that dopamine hit like Modern Warfare 2, sniping someone with a shotgun across the map.
Exactly. Xbox have largely not delivered on any video games. Yeah. Almost completely. But they're still in the conversation. They're still here. People still talk about them. And there is a large amount of people, a scary large amount of people, who regard them as great.
Well, as the premier, if you're not doing it like Xbox, you're not doing it right.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's all because they do these kind of little things right. They're always talking out there. They're always projecting. Granted, a lot of it is fake it until you make it type of stuff, where it's like
very much
like the last Xbox showcase, like we are doing amazingly. Our growth is, it's like, bro, you haven't done anything.
Yeah,
you're just lying straight to our faces, and that's part of the fake it till you make it sort of thing like that. So, but that's because they're out there and they're doing stuff. Yeah. They're doing these events and they're showing off games. Maybe not all of them are theirs, but they're showing off games.
Yes, they are showing off games.
Whereas on the flip side, PlayStation is doing nothing.
Yeah.
The last event that I really, truly remember loving was the PlayStation 5 showcase, where they showed off Spider-Man 2, where they showed off Wolverine, and that was at the launch of the PlayStation.
And those are only teasers. That's exactly the stuff that we normally complain about.
Right.
And we justify that because it is a teaser. It's just telling you the concept is coming. Also, it's Spider-Man. We know exactly what we're getting.
Right.
right? This isn't like...
There was interesting aspects. It was like, oh, this game's going to feature both of the Spider-Men together?
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
Oh, Wolverine, this character that I really like, is getting a video game. Yeah. That's cool.
Also made by a company that you know their product.
Exactly. Oh my God, that game looks fantastic. It's like, no, that's not what it was.
Right.
But that's what I mean is that PlayStation, while at the end of the day, they're going to prove themselves with the bread and butter. Yeah. They're going to give you the bacon at the end and they're going to be like, this is what you guys waited for. Yeah. This is what we do best. Cool. But make it a ride. Make it a journey.
Yeah,
go along the way and go, we got a good show coming up, guys. That you guys love the music from so-and-so game. We're going to get this out here. Ghost of Tsushima's coming up. Do you know what was really awesome about it? Let's talk with the devs how they learned from real Japanese samurai or something like that. These kind of things are cool and they help build that love. And I feel like we're getting to the point. with PlayStation that it's starting to drop off.
I feel you.
So like you said about the waitress service and whatnot, the waiting service, think of it more as a burger chain that did amazing burgers and they had amazing service.
You need to watch The Founder.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happens in McDonald's, yeah.
So they had a burger chain that was amazing burgers, they had amazing service, and then one day the waiting staff had to be changed for whatever reason. Yeah. The burgers are still great, and people are still riding off of that high of knowing that it's still great. And they're still going despite the service being bad. But then slowly over time, it's just starting to
Well, you can save a little bit of money on the beef, and then if we use condensed milk instead of natural milk, we'll save 5%. And then,
now, that could happen in the future. We don't know. But let's say the burger's still staying the same. But some people just don't want to go because the service is bad. Yeah. They have great food. That's cool. But I just don't want to go there anymore. And it's slowly going down. And PlayStation might have said, look, we've stopped doing the shows and our things are still going great.
Yeah, our burgers are still good in like focus groups. Everybody loves the burgers. Right. Yeah, but how are they getting to people?
In it. Yeah. And then also like 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, maybe people have just had enough. Yeah. And then they're not willing to put up with the rest of it for that good
eventually burger. People are likely to get burnt out on third party, like RPGs, right? Yeah. They'll just be enough. They'll want a bit of a change. On that note, though, something that I would like and really appreciate would be, making Kratos.
Yeah.
Is it making Kratos?
Raising Kratos.
Let's get some more of that going.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would have been a perfect one to do for Ghost of Tsushima.
For sure, right?
Right, like...
Because that's the most interesting. How did that studio go from that to that?
That's the story I want to have told. I want to see the team go to Japan and speak to people and, like, go to samurai shows and stuff like, oh my God, they're so passionate about it. I want to see them come back. I want to see people stressing out because they went from Infamous Second Son, which is a B tier. I really enjoy the Infamous games.
Yeah, no shade.
Yeah, but they're like B tier.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. They're B movies compared to like what they end up bringing out of Endgame.
Yeah.
They bring out an Avengers, but before that, it wasn't Avengers, Yeah,
it was Thor Dark World.
Right, exactly. It really was.
It was Iron Man 3.
I want to see people stressing out about it. I want to see them saying like, I want to see how passionate the guys were going, this combat system isn't right. I know what it can be, and I want them to go from this isn't right to that's it.
Yeah.
We got it. This combat system plays like that sword fight we went to see, the kendo match, right? It looks like that. It plays the way that is to watch. I want to watch that journey. I want to watch the guys looking at Tsushima and going, we can do better. This doesn't look like that island looked. Do you remember, like, on our last day, we all woke up to watch the sunrise? This doesn't look like that. I want it to look like that.
Yeah. Okay,
well, how are we going to do it? We don't know. How big is it going to be? Well, we have to work on compression issues. I want to see that story told. And I think especially now that they know how good the first one was, if they aren't recording that documentary now, just in case the second one is good, like maybe it flops, totally possible, but they should be recording it.
Do you know what I think part of the problem is? It's our favourite member over at PlayStation. I think it's a bit of Jim Ryan's influence.
Yeah.
I think he's more clinical and he's more ones and zeros.
Yeah.
And it's like the documentary, first of all, it's not something you sell. So it's not really like a money maker. And it's probably quite a large cost as well to make a documentary like that.
It's one of my freaking fondest memories of all the God of War stuff, though, isn't
right?
It's the surrounding stuff. It's that how do the wait staff treat you at the restaurant?
I just looked it up, and it's like 4.5 million on the PlayStation main channel, and then 2.7 million on the other channel.
That alone's actually decent revenue anyway.
Right. I mean, a lot of that's probably just me anyway. But
yeah, solidly 500,000 of those are just me rewatching it.
Exactly. Now, like I said, I think it's very much, he's very clinical now. Yeah. And he's like, it's not going to make us money per se. Granted, he doesn't see the ad revenue or something from YouTube. Yeah. But it's not going to make us money per se. That money could be going to video games, it could be going to something else, research and development, something like that. And the shows he probably sees similar sort of way. It's like, yeah, there's gonna be a return, but those are expensive to put on as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, we could do a state of play and everyone tunes in. Look at the numbers. We got that thing right there, and that's advertisement.
We haven't lost anything here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of him. Unfortunately, and the guy hasn't done anything, I think, monstrously bad that I think...
I agree.
Like, fire him, he's incompetent or something like that. But
he hasn't pitched that for 7 years you should just make a loss on gaming.
Right.
Buy them up front and give them free day of release. And with such an aggressive marketing strategy that you and I probably both have 5 email addresses with Game Pass that we don't even know about, you know?
He's nothing like that.
Right.
But I do feel like there is so much to gain from maybe getting someone else in there. Someone akin to our good boy Sean Layden back in the day.
Yeah, I think they could definitely do with like a Sony humanities officer.
Yeah.
You know, or community officer who's just like, okay, yeah, we are going to pay a guy 30, 40k a year to do a documentary on this project.
Yeah.
You know, and okay, at 40k a year, you can edit the frickin' thing as well. You can't, but... Like, yeah, take a camera, you can go into anything except, like, really important, like, ridiculous detailed meetings. Get it made.
Yeah.
Just follow it. And if there's any drama, you follow the drama, see what happens. You get to go on holiday to Tsushima or wherever the frick, you know? Like, we could do that now. I could make that documentary for Ghost of Tsushima too. Yeah. Like, we go to Tsushima... Do a quick history on that. You know, the fans, we will donate it to the Tailgate.
Fucking amazing, right?
Yeah, that's how I would start that movie. This company that started with Infamous ends up making this thing that has real world impact. Like, that's a story, you can freaking tell it. Someone can tell that, right? Yeah. We need some humanity. We need some humanity in the dev houses. So, like, raising Kratos was incredible. I don't know why we're not doing that for other stuff. And then let's do some little stuff. Let's do some shows. Let's put on some actual events that aren't just like a few people sat in a hall with a projector up on the screen. I know, I'm fully with you, and I am worried that, and Sony's so ready to just slip into corporatism.
Yes.
Because, like, I mean, you think Xbox is bad. Ultimately, the decision makers are Japanese businessmen.
Yeah. They're the most sterile businessmen out
there. Oh my God.
They could easily just fall into that, yeah.
So, like, I'm really with you.
It sucks so much because one of the things of PlayStation was their culture.
Yeah.
Was the PlayStation culture. And I don't mean like Japanese culture. I mean like gaming culture.
Yeah.
And how they fueled the gamers in a positive way. I don't like... This is one of the reasons why I don't like Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg and stuff like that, is that they fuel the gaming audience in such a negative way.
Yeah, I'm with
in such a way that they thrive. They actively enabling all of this console war nonsense and the disgusting side of it as well by flying the idiots out there that make these stupid comments like the Colt Eastwoods and the Destin, the Garys and all sorts of stuff like. These people are toxic, and they're actively enabling them. Whereas at least back in the day when it was when PlayStation were doing their thing, the worst part. And while it was funny and it could be seen as toxic and whatnot, the worst thing they ever did was the game sharing.
Yeah, it was trolling the Xbox.
And that was like a one-time joke. You can poke fun at people every now and again.
Right, especially when they try and do their customers dirty.
Right. And it's just like, and then they didn't hurt anyone, you reversed your policy, and that helped you out.
Let me put it to you this way. There's no way Phil Spencer plays video games. Shuhei is a monster. He's so sadistically good at Fall Guys. It's ridiculous. I saw his tweet recently. The dude is... It's not like Phil Spencer, I enjoy video games. Like, Shuhei is a cunt. The way he did that last guy so dirty...
Savage.
The dude's a monster.
He had foresight as well, and I was like, how did he see that to do that? And then he goes over there and just cuts him off. Like, it's like if someone was on a life raft, and they're like, could you just, I need you to jump out for just 1 second while I tie this thing up because you're offsetting the balance. No problem. Drives away. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
Savage.
So, like, Shuhei really plays Fall Guys.
Yeah.
He's really into it. Let's see more of that. Like, if you were doing a documentary on that, I would say, like, gaming is at the heart of PlayStation. Here's an example. This is Shuhei Yoshida. And I would show his account. Like,
60-year-old man.
60-year-old man with this many hours on Fall Guys.
CEO.
He's done the platinum, hasn't he? Like,
madness.
Like, this is a guy who, like, at every level, there are people that really enjoy it, you know? That's a story you can tell. There's no way you go into Phil Spencer's house. There's no console anywhere. You know?
Guys, oh god.
So, but this is what I'm saying. Like, that exists at Sony.
Yeah.
But what they forgot is that you need to make it a celebration. You need to show that, like, and it can't look unless you follow Shuhei. You don't know how much he likes Fall Guys. Yeah. Right?
How much he likes gaming in general.
Right.
The guy's constantly tweeting about indie games that we've never heard of.
Right.
Because he's like, man, I got to play this and fuck me, it's great.
Right. And by the way, I know probably some people are like, well, he's the head of a games company. Yeah. Phil Spencer doesn't do that. And he probably might tweet that the game exists, but
he tweets about games that they have deals with, it looks like.
Right.
Like, oh, everyone, Rainbow Six Siege is now on Game Pass. Right. That's why I'm playing it right now.
Totally different to Shuhei being like, yo, watch me do this guy so dirty.
Right? Fall Guys, I think, previously wasn't on Xbox. And when it came onto Xbox, the guy's like, everyone needs to get on this game now. You guys don't know what you're missing. Yeah. Because he's just passionate about the game. Yeah. Doesn't care about where it's going.
Right. Also, it means it's more victims for him. Yeah. I assume it's got crossplay.
It's just that people will say to me, it's like, oh, there's this video of Phil Spencer playing Rainbow Six Siege. It's like, oh, conveniently when it just pops up on Game Pass. Yeah? Right. It's an advert. He's just advertising his own thing. That's what he's doing. It's not doesn't really care about anything.
Exactly.
Anyway, not to make it about Xbox, but I do think PlayStation have lost something. I would. If they just said to me, we're going to continue everything else that we do, but we do a PSX every year, good enough for me. Fair enough. I get that maybe you've got some sort of internal logic where you don't want to do these shows all the time. No problem. Do that one show a year for me. It will... And the thing is, it's not even a benefit for me. While I'll enjoy myself, it's all a benefit for you, motherfucker. Yeah, you
get to showcase stuff properly,
You're going to be the one that gets the net gains from everything. Everyone's looking forward to it. There's hype around it. Everyone goes to watch it. They then talk about everything that you showed. Yeah. It's enjoyment for your community. It's nothing for me.
The thing is, I think what they need to look at is, okay, if I got an invitation from Xbox and from Sony to attend a barbecue, currently... I think Xbox would put on the better day out, and Sony would have the better food. Yeah. But I'd also, like, as a customer, I wouldn't know that all the best people were actually at Sony barbecue, right?
That's literally how it is.
Yeah. Whereas, like, the Xbox barbecue would be like, burgers brought to you by. Yeah. It'd all be an ad, right? And it might go there and look cool, but ultimately there'd be no soul. Whereas the Sony barbecue in this, like, it's a metaphor, right? Relax. Yeah, it's going to fall apart very quickly. Like, this would be Shuhei has gone and, like, made the burgers himself and brought them in, right? From his own Wagyu.
It turns out
from his own cows.
It's his great passion to make burgers.
Right.
And it's fantastic and stuff like that.
Exactly. And there'd just be more cool people to meet there, right? And more, I don't know, it's fallen apart now, but, like...
It turns out there's a barbecue sauce connoisseur there as well.
Right, but that's the thing. It's like there would be guys there like Shuhei, of all the games, you wouldn't pick Fall Guys, right? You wouldn't be like, oh, the CEO of this company plays. I would have guessed Final Fantasy, personally, right? It also fits. It's a much bigger moneymaker. No, the guy likes what he likes. Yeah. Fair enough, because he's a gamer. So, I just think that's the way you should do it. Don't let people forget that real people who like the industry, who like video games, who like to make video games, who want to make cool stuff, live here. You know? Like, I know you're making the best stuff, but like tell us about the people that make it.
Yeah.
And that's I'm with you. Like, we
do
need a Sean Layden back.
Do you know what Sean Layden was just so great. Do you know what would be interesting though? Is that obviously it's easy to speculate, and it's probably because we have such fond memories of PlayStation, how they used to be. But Xbox have got that formula. They're getting a lot of positivity from them doing all these shows and being out there and going on podcasts and stuff like that. But it's purely because it's unopposed.
Yes,
they're winning because they're unopposed. There's no bar to judge them against. We won gold
every single time.
Right,
there's no one else.
If PlayStation were to come out with 2016, 2017 energy, it would be a fucking bloodbath.
Give me some PS1 energy,
right?
Oh,
it would be. If you just come out with just a half of that energy now, it would be a bloodbath. It would be so unfair.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I want that back because I want Xbox to fail. I just want to feel some of that from
some of that excitement and passion in it.
Right, from the best game makers out there.
So Shuhei, obviously I know you're watching. Formal invitation. You're welcome on the podcast whenever you want.
Do you want to hear something funny? So, I follow Colin Moriarty.
Obviously, yeah.
He's got the biggest PlayStation podcast out there. Yeah. Someone said, it's like, Shu, would you come on the Sacred Symbols podcast?
Yeah.
And he's like, of course, anytime. I'm big friends with Colin Moriarty. The only issue is that his podcasts go a little bit long. And his podcasts go for like 4 hours now.
Yeah.
And I was like 2.5.
Shoot him the email, bruv.
If we drop it down to 2, Shu, will you come down?
Yeah, we have actually got the second biggest. You may not have heard of it, but
it's a fact. It's an undisputed.
I mean, like, you know how Colin Moriarty at Sacred Symbols, right?
Yeah.
It's the X circle, triangle, right? Sacred Symbols. True Gamer, obviously the PlayStation.
Obviously,
it's very obviously a nod towards PlayStation.
Exactly, obviously.
Second biggest PlayStation podcast, boys. You could go and message Shuhei if you wanted, just to. I'm not saying you should. I'm not trying to weaponize my audience here, but were you
weaponize our audience of like 5 people?
Were you to get Shuhei's attention, we'd be open to having him on, and we could keep the podcast to whatever length he prefers.
Yes.
I just realized you're also wearing a PlayStation. Okay, seriously, Shuhei. Now we're having a one-to-one conversation. I want my freaking PlayStation colors back on my DualSense.
Make it happen.
I don't like the sterile PlayStation logo, and I do not like the grey in the thing. I'm serious. Like, I want it back.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Don't worry, when he comes on the podcast, we can tell him all of this.
Also, you know that we were talking last time how they're missing a huge... They're making a lot of misses, actually. They do incredibly, but like they should be doing custom controller skins and PS5 skins. Like that, they just should be. Why, of all the colours that they picked, which the pink, purple, blue, and red all look great, where's my PS1 grey? What is wrong with you?
Such a weird oversight, right?
What?
Like, how do you miss that?
It's like staring you in the face.
Especially because they made the PS4. You know, they did those 20th anniversary one, and those sold out
hotcakes
seconds
immediately,
and then they went on resale for thousands of dollars afterwards.
Yeah, and I'm like, still sold out immediately.
In it, and then they made the controller that wasn't just as good as the thing one, and those sold like hotcakes. It's like, how much more of an indication do you need?
Yeah, give me a PS5 in PS1 colors. Yeah. That's all we need.
Anyway.
Also, we know that they have those, but it's not like, we don't make the coloured X, triangle, circle, square buttons anymore.
Right.
Still making PS4s. I know you have the frickin' buttons in stock. Give me the frickin' buttons.
All right, guys. Let us know in the comment section how you feel about PlayStation, whether or not they're slipping. What do you think could save them? Do you think simply, like I said, one PSX event every year? I think it'd be just fine. And it will give people a time to look towards. December time is when it usually used to come out. Not many people do events in December.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect time. Everyone's just
it's a good recap of the year.
Yeah, and it's like look forward to the next year. Right. Very, very good time. Not this like June thing where it's like, is that coming out
November's
this year?
Too early as well.
Year?
October's a crap month to do it in.
Right.
November's too early because then it just feels like you're trying to sell me for a game coming up in a week's time.
There is only one thing, actually. I just remembered. Game Awards happens in December.
So who cares about them?
To be fair, no one wants to watch a fucking 4-hour event of a lot of ads and a lot of other bullshit around it.
Especially when Conbrosations Awards is like in early January.
You don't need to worry about it.
What's the point?
What's the point? Exactly. Anyway, let us know in the comment section how you guys feel. Bro.
Yes.
This is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right.
Coming to your eyes and ears every Saturday here at youtube.com/Conbrosations1. And on podcast services around the world. You can just search for the True Gamer Podcast anywhere and everywhere, and you'll see our faces / hear our voices. I'm sorry in advance. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you like what we do here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for occasional notifications of when we make videos here. And if you're on podcast services, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars. It helps us out, climb those rankings, find other people, find us in their searches and stuff like that. It's all cool. Thank you for everyone new that's joining us. It's all really awesome. If you guys like what we do here, though, and you want to take your support the extra step, the extra mile, you can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations and kick us a couple of bucks a month, and you can get exclusive access to the Conbrosations podcast, which we're recording today, actually. So there'll be another one up there. It's our unfiltered podcast where we talk about anything and everything.
We'll literally talk about anything, and when you consider that we ranked Holocausts on this show...
Did we
I think we did, didn't we?
Oh, God, did we? Oh,
we did it on the
Jesus
True
Christ,
Gamer, didn't we?
We should have saved that for the... Oh, no. Yeah, considering that, then, you know...
So that's really no hobos. Actually, it was genocides, but you know what I mean.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you that's going to be at the $1 level, so all of our patrons get to listen to that, and we get to have some good fun there. As well as that, at the $5 tier, you get this podcast the day it's recorded, 2 days early almost, than everybody else over on YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have to listen with those peasants.
Exactly. Peasants right there. And you get your name read out on this podcast as a true gamer for supporting us.
Gamer.
Just like Adam the High Quality Potato, Jeremy Horde, Sheps is Krusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, The Bat Fan, Adam Sunling, Clark 53, Mikey T, Cats Bacoral, Sab 2557, Joe McCormack, Super Whale Ben, The Boys Season 3 S.
What?
I think it's supposed to have enough space to fill more, so is it supposed to say Streamcast, but it's cut off for some reason? S. Gamsmaster, Make the Nice Guys. Okay, something's wrong with the formatting because it should be Nice Guys.
I was going to
too.
say, there's no way even you don't make this many mistakes.
Right?
Yeah.
Make the Nice Guys, please, for the love. Oh, fuck Hollywood. Yeah,
it's something's wrong on Patreon.
Something's cut off over here, but I'm going to continue. Gerald Tucker, Fishy, The Jackal, Alpha Aquila. It's almost like he's Somalian or something like that. Like, isn't that the language? Isn't that?
I was thinking
Zimbabwean or something.
No, fucking like Native Americans doing the rain dance.
Oh yeah, that's more close to it. I like it. Max H and Make Bindis Mod.
Gamers.
Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here.
That's right. If you are thinking about it, you can join over 50 incredible guys over on patreon.com/Conbrosations. I will say, once you join, this number never dips.
Yeah.
Like, we hit a threshold and it just sticks there, mainly because we do find out information about the families and threaten you. If you leave, gone. That's not true, but I would like to say thank you to our patrons who never... It is true. It is true.
Test us.
Yeah, find out. Fuck around.
However,
that's
if you guys don't want to support us with your hard-earned cash...
And you do love the safety of your family.
Yes. We totally get it. It's totally fine. No obligation. We love you guys just being here, chatting with us, listening to the podcast, liking the video and stuff like that, doing all the free stuff. It really helps us out as well. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much there.
We do.
All right.
We're really not good at the sales thing. When I say we, me.
Yeah, well, you know, we both have our moments.
What it is
shared
it's, you know, that Findom thing of, like, the higher up the Patreon things, the worse that we treat them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to push them away. So the ones that stick around, they're kind of into it, you know. So when they hit that pay button, they're in. They get that fix.
They need that dopamine high. They're
Right.
like, just take my money.
Right.
Take it.
Right.
That's right. You imagined it, innit? For the audio virgins, yes, I did just spit at you.
Oh my god. Talking of audio virgins,
Yes.
Chris, and when I say we, you apparently forgot to read out his Super Bro message last week.
Did I?
Yeah.
Wait, his Super Bro message? Wait.
Not message, but like his name. He didn't get credit for it.
I didn't read it out this week, did I?
I swear you did. I feel like you did, because that's why I remembered it.
Chris!
Conbrosations, we love you.
Did I not? Fuck. If I did do that and I'm going to check, I'll move your thing to the next month. So we just do it again, you know?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
By the way, look, so just for the record, anybody wondering, because we mentioned the T-shirts earlier as well, we will always make sure you're made whole or you get something. We've had people accidentally like double pledge. We've had a bunch of stuff. Just message us. Yeah. We'll make sure it's you know.
We're not in the. I mean, what benefit would it be to like scam you? Because at the end of the day, it's not. First of all, we're making tons of money,
right?
And second of all, then the future of us is fucked.
Right.
You know, there's no benefit.
Perfect example. Let me say this: there have been guys now waiting for 6 months for these T-shirts from January. Not one of them has complained. Actually, not which I was expecting to have to be constantly doing. We'd have to work on this. They've all been like, "We get it." Like, you can trust us in that sense. By the way, seriously, I'm actually down to frick those guys. Who are we with again? Don't say it out loud. I don't want to give them any stuff. Let's switch. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, there's some issues, and we'll talk about this in the podcast.
I think maybe we'll order a couple of test T-shirts from somewhere else and see who has the best quality. Then we're just going to switch over because even if not a lot of you guys buy our merch, which by the way we have merch. But when you do, I want it to be good. Like, frickin' Dave Bindis has one of our original hoodies from like 4 years ago. The guy wears it every single day and it's still looking good, right?
Yeah.
I want everybody to be able to do that. And if it takes 6 months because they send us T-shirts, it takes too long for them to get here. And then when they arrive, the print sucks. I'm not happy about it. So, frick these guys.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Fuck them! Anyway.
Let's move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
Your favourite segment, Correcting Conbrosations.
That's right. So look, if you're new around here, we say things on the internet and we have never let pesky things like facts and information get in the way of a strongly held belief. Like, why would you let that get in the way? So when we say something incorrect, just head down to the comments section of this video and like timestamp it ideally so you know at 13 minutes and 72 seconds when you said this was the thing, it was actually that. And then next week we'll read out your comment and credit you, and you can let us know what needed to be corrected. Do we have any corrections? Probably not, because our brains are so big and wrinkly.
Just at the beginning, did you mention that we never forget this this part of the podcast? Because
we do never forget it. It's always planned.
Put that in there just because people.
Right. Sometimes there are. I know before that there aren't corrections. Obviously, someone's probably gone in and edited the timestamp on their, the time on their computer, so that it looks like it was read. We've never forgotten the segment. That's why we mentioned that we don't forget the segment, because it's never been forgotten.
Exactly. So
I think we forgot like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so here we go. Runic Firebird writes, and he says,
"Oh God,
this fucker always fucking with his corrections. Bros, come on. No shot." I think he meant shit, so correcting you right there. "No shit, you skipped another week of correcting Conbrosations. You motherfrickers. I was gonna just leave it when Shep said, Sheps keeps saying that he never misses an episode, even though you all have missed 3 now." It was 3 in a row now.
Nah.
Maybe it's 3 separately.
Okay.
"But nope, now you've set it in stone. I will point out every week for correcting Conbrosations if Shep says it again." So if you come along and say, "We never forget an episode," that's going to be his correction.
We never forget it.
On top of all the corrections I have to make for Sheps every week anyways.
This motherfricker.
He's got it out for you.
I'm going to shadow ban him.
Do you know what's really funny? I saw this pop up in my emails.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me go to get the show ready so when you finish, I'm ready. When I go to the episode, his comment isn't there.
What?
Okay, it's a weird YouTube thing. It doesn't count it as a top comment. That's what it is.
I was going to say good guy YouTube shadow banning these motherfuckers. They obviously know it's spam.
And I was like, did you shadow ban him really? But no, here it is under the, if you change the newest first. So yeah, that's thank you Runic Firebird for keeping this fucking liar honest. Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
There we go. So that was from the last one. That was from the last episode. Let's go to the episode before we messed up. So this is from the Starfield episode. Will Starfield save Xbox?
Yeah.
I deliberately named it like that to get the few people going, huh, Xbox doesn't need saving. I was like, let's be honest, guys.
Thanks for falling for more bait.
Exactly. Correcting Conbrosations from our good boy Runic Firebird again.
God damn it.
He says, Sheps...
God damn it.
You should just know when it's Runic Firebird, Sheps, there you go.
I always look forward to it when it says, this week, surprisingly, it's for Ed. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm saved.
Sheps, you said that Back 4 Blood devs couldn't remake Left 4 Dead. That's not the reason Back 4 Blood failed. It failed because they remade Left 4 Dead and didn't do anything new. It was the exact same thing but with a different title. Second correction, when reading comments, Sheps said SFG. It should be SGF, which is Summer Games Fest.
You're getting banned. Now I'm going to log in right now.
It's not Summerfest Games.
At 13 minutes and 72 seconds when you misspelled this.
Do you know what? This may have been a segment designed to like sort of boost our comments up and whatnot.
Yeah.
But fuck me, it's become one of the best best sections of the podcast.
Oh yeah. The whole point of creating Conbrosations is to get engagement so YouTube sees it. But still,
it's just become the best thing.
It is
ever.
actually a highlight. I do love it. Yeah.
Car 56 writes in and he says at 2 hours 16 minutes and 47 seconds you said car 56 like sand. This is untrue. I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough and irritating and gets everywhere. So yeah, sorry for besmirching your good name. Alex Greenwood Hookie writes and he says 1 hour 14 minutes and 43 seconds. Eddie and Sheps once again proving to us all that they've never played Knights of the Old Republic, making me sound like a broken record with the amount of times I've told you to play it. Haha. That's not really a correction.
Oh, yeah, I feel like
it's just a proof that we are distinguished gentlemen and we have better things to do in our lives.
That's right. Who likes Star Wars?
Exactly.
I like Star Peace. Okay.
That's such a lame way of Star Peace, actually. Okay, go down. Also,
at least I didn't say Trek. Come on.
I have a correction of myself here to make of him. So, Simi wrote in and he said, "Bro wasted hundreds of pounds on some bloody axe from God of War. Not the best person to be talking about money and the value of something."
Hey,
and I was like, excuse me, wasted? That's a home defense Leviathan axe, okay? I'm protecting my family with that.
Right.
So that's...
I'm glad we came up with that bit. Now it's justified, isn't
it? Legion also pointed out, this isn't a correction, but Legion also agrees with you about how... I can't lie, Sheps is spot on with The Rock, how he used to be a huge fan of him, but now he's turned into a corporate robot. Nothing about him seems genuine anymore. Everything he says feels rehearsed.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's just...
It's awful, isn't it?
How it's changed over that. It's just like
the guy's just bought and paid for corporate human being, innit? Like, yeah, I don't think I could have a beer with him, you know?
No.
Ryan Reynolds, though.
Could you imagine, like, you were... Because the thing is... Are there many celebrities you would turn down just sitting next to? Not necessarily like having to have a conversation with them, but like you was in a back room.
Like, yeah.
You was in a back room and like they would come and sit down and you were sitting there because you were doing something else or whatever it might be. And you're like, oh shit, it's The Rock. Like, nice to meet you.
In fairness, you're talking to definitely the wrong person here because I'm the sort of guy that's like, Johnny Depp stayed married to Amber Heard for like 5 years. I kind of want to know, like, she's that crazy. How good is it? Like, probably like sucks the soul out of you.
I'll dip my dick in and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, and I'll just be on the lookout for a pair of scissors trying to stab me in the chest halfway through, like,
all the way through.
On defense, Where's she putting her hand under the pillow? As if I could land Amber Heard. But like... So definitely the wrong audience. But I know what you're saying. Like, if you went to an event, right? Let's say we're invited to like a Sony thing.
Yeah.
Not Sony, like some gaming thing, and The Rock was there. I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to sit next to Dwayne.
Yeah.
Right? I'd be like, yeah, of course, The Rock, how you doing? But I wouldn't want to go any further than that, really.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
If it was Keanu, I'd be like, yo, how about afterwards, 5 minutes, just quick nosh.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll just, like, it'd be a great story.
You could talk all about John Wick and I'll just be down there.
Right. Like, Keanu, not really gaming related, but like Ryan Reynolds, Adam Sandler, guys like this, I'd be like, yo,
like if I
do you want to get a drink?
If I met Henry Cavill, I'd try my best to find something common ground so I can be like, me and Henry Cavill have this common thing.
Yes.
When it comes to Dwayne "Rock" Johnson, I'd be like, hey, it's really cool to meet you. You're a big star.
Yeah.
I remember you from back in the WWE days. That was my favorite time of you. Cool.
My favorite of your movies, obviously, your acting
we don't
pinnacle is Doom.
Pinnacle. It's like, but we don't need to talk anymore. I don't need to suddenly find out that like we have we have both love for this game.
Right.
Because
maybe
honestly,
take a selfie.
It doesn't matter.
But I'll tell you this: if I was sat next to The Rock, I'd be like, "Yo, cool, how you doing? Cool." I don't think I'd be like, I'm not desperate to take selfies with someone. If it was, frick, what's his name? The guy that plays Yondu.
Oh,
we met Michael Rooker. I think.
Michael Rooker, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we met him. We went to that COD event.
Yeah, we did.
And I was a big fan of his because I love The Walking Dead. I think they just done the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Yeah. So I was like, yo, cool, it's Michael Rooker. I want a picture with this guy because I like this guy. I don't know where that picture is, but we have pictures with Michael Rooker. That was cool. Like, that would be cool. I would do that with someone like Keanu. I don't think I'd be desperate to get a picture with The Rock. I might tweet, yo, met The Rock at this event. That was cool.
Yeah.
But that's as far as I would take it.
You'd be probably more interested in the size difference. You'd be like, shit, this guy is fucking huge.
Yeah.
But I'll take a picture just for record purposes. This guy is
like,
huge.
Hey, The Rock, do you mind if we take a picture, but can you cradle me like a baby? You know? Like, other than that.
Yes, please.
Right. Like, or maybe like flexing next to him, you know? But other than that, like not really.
No.
Yeah. Corporate shill.
Anyway, Runic Firebird, are you happy you got your segment back?
Yeah. There's your freaking segment. Don't say we're not corporate. Wait, is that if we give in to them? Are we now corporate shills?
Hold on a second.
Damn it! Hoisted by our own petards.
Petards? Yeah, it is the petards,
petard?
but I don't know
what
petards
is a
mean.
petard.
No, I don't know.
Got Google. I'm worried this is going to be a really sus Google search.
It's like Google corrected. Are you
what
sure you
is
don't
a
want
petard?
Retard porn?
And then it's like, oh, new fetish unlocked. There's no way this is what it means.
What does it say?
Petard, a small bomb made of metal or wooden box filled with powder used to blast down a door or to make a small hole in the wall.
Hoisted by my own bomb. I don't know if that works out.
That's definitely... Maybe I spelled it wrong.
Perhaps.
I literally spelt, the word that we probably shouldn't say on here, but with a P.
Yeah.
So...
Hey.
Which is weird because normally I would just say that word, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, we shouldn't say that. Not because I care about offending people. I care about the YouTube algorithm digging me.
Should we move on to our next
Yes, let's. This has been a weird podcast.
This has been a weird one, but I think it's going to be great. Our next topic, which is also a big one, I think. Hideo Kojima went out on Twitter and just voluntarily let out this information that he was making... in the early developments of like story building and stuff like that, he was in the early developments of making a game that was kind of similar to the premise of The Boys, the TV show on Amazon.
Yeah.
And ultimately decided to not go ahead with it because it was just too similar in his mind. Yeah. And he's a very good creative and he doesn't want to be like accused of plagiarizing or anything like that. Yeah. I'll read out his tweets that he wrote right here. He said... 2 tweets with The Boys, which I quit after 3 episodes of season 1.
You can stop reading.
He clearly doesn't have good taste if you do that. I thought I'd watch the rest of the show. Actually, I watched a few episodes that were delivered at the time. This is unfortunate because it's a bit of broken English. It's a little bit hard to read out.
Again, in fairness, right, it's somewhat broken English. Also, he's at a level of English where he presents stuff in Japanese and just translates it to English. Yes. And that means that, like, a thought isn't structured for English. It doesn't read right, Actually,
I watched a few episodes that were delivered at the time when I was about to start a project that had been warming up for a long time. And then he goes on to say, and put it on hold because the concept was similar, in brackets he writes, different setting and tricks. A buddy, male/female thing, with a special detective squad facing off against legendary heroes behind the scenes. I was thinking of Mads as the lead. Mads Mikkelsen as the lead.
Hideo's an idiot. That would have banged.
Just the thought
that would have banged
of a boys' game sounds great.
That sounds sick.
Hideo Kojima, one of our great visionaries of our time in video gaming, making something similar closely to the boys sounds fantastic. And then add Mads Mikkelsen into it, and it's like, what the hell? Why did you just tease us with this potential greatness and then just take it away?
That's a really dumb thing to make. Yeah. Also, because here's the thing, right? That superheroes, once you've seen like the first 5, you've now seen all of them.
Yeah.
Right? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, whatever, right? Thor is Superman functionally, Shazam. Like, they're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
There are very minor differences between them.
Yeah. Like, for example, Thor and Superman, functionally, just on paper, they're the same, right? Functionally gods, bulletproof, can fly, super strong, can shoot an energy beam at you or some sort of energy thing. Like, they're the same. They're the same. But they're not because of the differences. This is why I said you should watch Invincible. Invincible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
animated, so...
It is animated. It's trash, you know. Like, so this is the thing. This was my pitch. I think I said this to you, these exact words. I thought it was going to be the most boring, generic thing when I watched it, because everybody's telling me to watch it, right? And I'm like, I've seen all of these heroes to the point where I'm like, they're not even really trying. Yeah. Like, in the first episode, Omni-Man is obviously Superman, right?
Yeah.
But there's a guy there that is basically Batman, except I think the only difference is he's actually just black. Like his,
I thought you were going to say he's poor.
As in Afro. Yeah, he's poor. Yeah, it's just a really cheap. It's like all the stuff's made from Target. As far as I could tell, the lead was black instead of white.
Right.
That was the only difference, and he wasn't called back. You know, their names are different.
Yeah.
There's a Green Lantern, but instead of a ring, it's like a gem she puts in her mouth, and then she goes all green.
Okay.
But like, you're like, I know all of these heroes. They're obviously different, but I know all of these heroes. Yeah. And I was like, man, this is so generic. And then there's a twist. Like right at the end, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to watch another episode of this.
And then it turns.
And then there's this twist, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, I would still recommend it. But like, that's my point is, I've seen that. I know all of these guys, right?
Mm.
And it's still different. The Boys is literally all of your favorite superheroes. I mean, with just rebranded names.
Yeah, it's the Justice League, isn't it?
Yeah, it is literally the Justice League, and then it's different. Like here's another thing. Like any cop movie, they're all cops, right? That makes them all the same, right? No, they're not the same. Like there's a difference between like the other guys and like SWAT. You know, the other guys. Is it the other guys? With frickin' Mark Wahlberg and...
what the fuck's that one called?
Is it the other guys?
It might be.
You know what
I know which one you're talking about.
Like that versus SWAT.
Yeah.
They're both cops, right?
I like this thought, actually. Like, maybe Hideo needs to reconsider. I mean, I get his feelings and whatnot. It's hard to change your own feelings. At the end of the day, it's his decision and how he's going to go.
Who cares what he wants to do?
Exactly. Fuck him. It's all about what we want. But like you said, superheroes have been done a lot. They're not all the same.
Right.
They're just, the only common ground is that they're superheroes.
Right.
Now, we don't obviously know how close to the Boys this was. Maybe it was just too close to...
Well, I think by the sounds of it, the where it's close is that these people held up to be incredible, you know, paragons of good actually have this dark side to them.
Yeah, and he's like...
But that's not exactly new.
It's like a squad facing off against legendary heroes behind the scenes. So that's obviously the Carl Urban, the Huey characters and stuff like that, trying to fight off against
finding the dirt on the hero and then trying to take him out. Like, okay, but, I mean, heroes having dark secrets isn't exactly a new concept.
Yeah.
Like, the Boys just did it in a way that I think speaks to people because it is that corporatism and what are people who grow up... There's There's a reason Superman and Clark Kent is who he is, and that's because anybody else doesn't turn out like Clark Kent, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else turns out more like closer to Homelander than Clark.
Did you ever watch that Brightburn?
No, I've been meaning to see that.
Was that James Gunn that made that?
Yeah, I think it was.
Burn. It wasn't. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best thing in the world. But it was the exact same premise that we're saying right here.
I've been calling.
Director doesn't say James Gunn here. Oh, he's a producer. Sorry,
producer. I want a Red Sun movie so bad.
Yeah. If you watch that movie as well, it's almost. There's a point where it's almost beat for beat with like what happens with Superman in Smallville. Yeah. It's like he finds out he's not from this planet, and the parents like try to console him. But then it's two options here: either accept that and then try to deal with it,
or what's the point?
Or go off and fucking just be red-eyed Superman, and that's just what he goes on. I was like, oh shit, this is how it could have gone down.
Yeah. And that actually is good. Is okay. It's
okay. It's not great. It doesn't change the world or anything like that, but it is a very interesting sort of like, oh, this could be a fucking horror scene if you turns into it.
And for anybody that doesn't understand Batman vs Superman, that's what he was worried about. You freaking idiots. So this is a gaming podcast, but you guys are so stupid.
Exactly, so stupid. You're fucking idiots. I think Hideo Kojima, or maybe even someone at Sony, needs to go and talk to Hideo Kojima, because it's Sony that produced the Boys TV show, so they have the rights and everything like that. Maybe they need to approach Hideo and be like, "Yo, we heard you had this thing.
Yeah.
If it's too similar,
just make it.
Why don't you just make it?
Just make The Boys, yeah.
Maybe that's like, consider it. Here you go. Here's the option.
Well, also because The Boys, the TV show, isn't beat for beat with the comics. Like they've changed things, and I know people. I think my brother went and read the comics. Who reads? Idiot! What a loser!
Reading,
especially when it's on TV. You stupid idiot!
It's like you've got movies, you've got TV shows.
The only way to top it, game.
Exactly.
You know.
You've got that. That's what Hideo Kojima could do. He's like, it's like below anime. It's like below that there's animation, and then there's reading, and it's like
stupid, isn't it?
Morons.
There's not even any picture. Actually, it's a comic. Never mind. I scrap that. Never mind. Delete that. Chop that in post.
Shit. Like one of the defining points of comics is that is basically
at least
pictures.
It's not a book in it. God damn it. I was also just about to
make your own petard again.
Damn it. I was about to make the point, trying to sound all cool and like sophisticated about how like, oh, do you know what would be interesting is like sort of an LA Noire detective-esque thing. So that would be how I would say pitch that game as like, you start with like maybe, you know, how a hero does Huey wrong, right? Yeah. But then, like, okay, that's one incident, and then you have to do a bit of detective work, and then you realize, oh, it's not just this one here, it's a bunch. And then, like, you build your way up. So you have a bit of detective work, a bit of, like, stealth, and then combat. That could be, like, a fun mix of all those things. Because really, if you're doing detective stuff, like, LA Noire is very little action in comparison to, like, Call of Duty or something. Or God of War, right? And God of War has no investigation. So you could mix a bunch of these things really well. But then I went and said that there's no pictures in comics, so it's just totally... No correcting Conbrosations, I freaking corrected it.
No, Runic Firebird, you need to keep him honest. So.
Yeah, keep me honest.
He did also say that you never forget correcting Conbrosations this episode, so you need to do that, you need to do this.
I feel like...
It's going to be a long list.
I feel like in my definition of never forgetting is every time it's remembered, it's remembered. You know?
So every time it's remembered, it's not forgotten.
Exactly.
Facts.
Right.
Can't argue with that logic.
Right. Exactly.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, Hideo Kojima, you just need to speak to either Sony or
just grow up a bit.
Just
grow up.
We want you to make video games. We want you to do it. We want you
making stuff because you like it. It's for children. Okay.
Exactly.
You're an adult. Do your job. Oh, it's my company. No one cares. Hideo, make me the game that I want.
I just saw on Twitter that
and then
God
make us Walking Simulator 2.
We need it. We need to learn how to walk.
I want cheat codes in this next one.
Okay.
And you can turn what's his name? The main guy from Walking Dead. What's his name? Who's the guy?
The main guy.
Yeah, the main guy from Death Stranding.
I don't know. Oh, from Death Stranding, Norman Reedus.
Yeah. I want to be able to turn him into like a goat. You know, so it's just walking simulator. It's all the same, except you can walk around and he's a go, and he still do the "Hey there,
Hey,
is anybody out there?
hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
You're gonna say something. Sorry,
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, wait, yeah, I'm just on Twitter every now and again refreshing, and obviously God of War Ragnarok is trending today because everyone's expecting.
I
it.
refreshed that a bunch, and then I
But
went
it's just
to Shuhei's page because I assume if it comes out, he'll retweet it anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
For the record, you know what we were saying about? Oh, you know, he's really into Fall Guys.
yeah.
His, you know that there's that 6 pane on the side of like the six most recent medias.
Yeah,
4 of those 6 are Fall Guys.
guys, that's all he does. He lives and breathes it. I mean, I'm an adult and I have all of my time filled, and I don't understand how he can be like the head of an indie section of a massive gaming company.
Yeah.
Have a family and play this much Fall Guys to do this.
And realistically put in Japanese business hours.
Right.
Right, this isn't like a 40 hours a week grind, you know? This is like, oh, you're really a businessman.
Exactly. Anyway.
And dominate. I only saw that one clip, but there's all 4 of those are videos of him just dominating. He's really good.
Really good. All right, let's kick it over to our next topic. Our next topic is how the QA company called Quantic Lab is apparently responsible for why there were so many bugs at launch with Cyberpunk 2077.
So good.
He's so good.
I'm sorry, yes.
Let me just read that again for you. The QA company, Quantic Lab, is apparently responsible for all of the bugs at launch of Cyberpunk 2077.
That's convenient.
According to a report. Now, this would align with one of the QAs who came out and spoke about the incident. However, it doesn't align with what CDPR was saying in the beginning.
I agree.
And also, I don't think it also takes the blame off of them because...
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you already do a job...
Let me read out first of all what
go.
these things will say. So in the Forbes report, there's a small section that I've taken out here. Apparently, Quantic Labs over-exaggerated the size of their team so they could land the contract of Cyberpunk 2077. And then Quantic Lab also said that the team was made up of senior staff, but really it was made up of interns and juniors that were under 6 months old at the company and worth of experience in QA in general. And Quantic Labs apparently had a daily quota for reporting bugs, which led to CDPR getting thousands of relatively pointless bugs being reported from testers, which took up a lot of time that caused game-breaking issues not being found or prioritized.
Right.
Because they had set a quota for them.
I can totally believe this.
I can believe some of the stuff here. But that's the most troubling stuff that was in that report right there. How do you feel? What do you think about all of this?
I don't think this is a lie. I could totally believe this is a part of the case, but I definitely feel like my next response is yes, so what? Right? Like you're a AAA studio at this point. If you've made The Witcher 3, you're coming up to Cyberpunk, you're a AAA studio, you quadrupled in size, you launched your company from like a few hundred million deep into the billions in value, right? If this is an issue, switch companies or deal with it. Right? Like anybody else, I feel like, let's say, trying to think of an example where, like, in the real world, you and I might do something like this, where we do a thing, you outsource some work to somebody. Okay, look, my mum just had the kitchen put in, right? And the plasterer isn't one of the guys. They got somebody in to do the plastering. If that guy was shit, you would get rid of him and get a new plasterer in. That's your job as the person organising. How many times do you have to do something like that? Or you're going to tile a bathroom and get a tiler in. It's not right. Go away. You know, rip them off and do it again. As the person sort of, as the organisation organising how things flow, if this isn't right, like, there's no way they got all those bug reports in and someone didn't realise, like, all of these things are pointless and I've just found this one massive thing. Why did, you bring up these questions, right? So I can believe that it's true, and I think the mistake was sticking with these guys.
I think the implication, although
It's still CDPR's fault. I don't care what, you know.
The implication, I think, is that they weren't aware because they were being over
promised and under delivered, right?
They were being told about all this other stuff that they didn't notice, the game breaking stuff. And I think the implication is what they're trying to say is that our QA company that we hired failed. That's why all of the rest of it failed. And I'm like, no, you still take responsibility for that.
Also, there's one thing.
To use your analogy quickly, if I can, is that it's like, if I say I'm going to do something, right? Yeah. And then I hire a plasterer to do something because I don't do the plastering, something like that. And then the plasterer does a bad job. That's still on me.
Oh, yeah. That's your job you did poorly.
I don't just turn around and go, oh, the plasterer did a bad job. And then I wash my hands of the situation. Right. That's on me. It's my product still.
Yeah.
So regardless of if this company lied to you, if they did shit, at some point you should have noticed something. And then go, like you said, I'm moving somewhere else.
Here's the thing. Every single person I know that played it experienced bugs. Pretty massive bugs. Yeah. You're the coder. You fix a bug. You have to test that it's fixed. Yeah. That is the way you do it. The idea that nobody at CDPR played the game and not one of them found these game-breaking issues.
Yeah.
Like the stability issues. How about that? Right? If anybody put in more than 20 minutes of gameplay on a console, it was going to crash.
Yeah.
Something like that. Let's say a couple hours. You're telling me that no one at CDPR put a couple hours on the game on a console?
Right.
I don't believe it. So
because that isn't the final step as well. Like QA, get all play the game.
You don't have to get all of your bugs from your QA guys. You can find a bug yourself and go, I found this bug. It's big.
And then also you're implying as well is that the QA guys, because they haven't said they didn't find the bugs. They said they found the bugs, but they were just overwhelmed with unnecessary stuff as well, or lower priority stuff. It's like, so they gave you the bug list and then you decided to ship it?
Right. Right. Also, like, the bug list isn't going to be like, found this bug, it's at, like, on DNA, it's at gene 72, right? Yeah. It's like, found this bug, does this.
Yeah.
Read what they are and prioritize them your goddamn self.
Yeah.
Bricked console. Oh, well, I couldn't do that because V's hair didn't shine properly.
There was 40 other bugs in front of it, and I was too busy focusing on those.
Right. Like, it's ridiculous. So this means that they have to have not read, they have to have been, everybody there went, do all of your bugs sequentially. Don't worry about what they are, just go through the list. And that no one played the game enough to realize something themselves, right? You're telling me that no one played that game, clocked something game breaking, went, priority, I've just played the game, this has happened, we need to get this fixed.
Yeah.
In an email to your team? No one? So I can believe that two things can be true. This whole thing can be true, what they're saying. It's also still CDPR's. It's totally on them. This doesn't get them out of any hot water. Sure. If anything, this is, like you said, they're getting the list. You could do your own prioritization, right? Like, you're telling me you couldn't have one guy spend an hour at lunch or in the morning reading through the bugs and then reprioritizing them?
Yeah. Set someone up as the guy to go through.
Right. Why are you doing all of these minor bugs sequentially and not finding the big stuff? Because little bugs we can tolerate. Yeah. Roach was twerking for like 6 months of the game, It was impossible to swim in The Witcher. Not that you had to do much of it, but if you did, it would make you want to be sick. We can tolerate that stuff. So, I get fucked.
Yeah. The way this came out, it was almost like because it's not from CDPR. It's a report saying that's what they've heard. But I was just like, the thing is that it smells kind of like a report that CDPR has let out to try and ease some of the pressure off of them.
But Bloomberg got wind that this thing, wink,
and I'm like, no, this doesn't make you look any better. This makes you look worse. This just shows that you again didn't do your job in a key area.
This smells funny, but not like funny haha. Like this fish smells funny.
Like call the waiter back type of thing.
Back to that wait staff analogy.
Man, it's just.
But like, okay, we'll stick with that restaurant analogy, right?
Yeah.
You can only make the food that you have. If hamburgers are on the list, and your hamburgers come and they're all disgusting or it's not right, you don't keep them on the list, you take them off the menu. And you let all the waiters know, tell them there's no hamburgers. Yeah. You don't just keep serving it, and then people come back, we don't like the hamburger. Oh, well, it's not our fault. Our guy gave us the wrong beef or the wrong meat or it's out of date. Yeah, you take it off the list. You take it off the menu. I'm sorry, I don't get how... Look, I will grant this is totally true. That doesn't take anything away from CDPR's responsibility, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about it today. The T-shirts. That's on us. We picked these guys. Before now, they've done brilliant work. And then we've had to deal with the fact that they've messed up. And we're delaying because we have to delay. Yeah. And we need to send the T-shirts back. But that's on us.
Yeah.
And we're fixing it. And we're taking responsibility for it. And that's like an order of 100 quid of T-shirts. Not even that, right?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. If we can do it, that's the bar. The idiot that forgot comics have pictures in it can run a business with better ethics. Okay? That's the bar. So, that's all I'm saying.
Idiot that forgot comics have pictures in it. Oh, boy.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you are an idiot.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, our next topic. Why is PlayStation Plus and PlayStation in general just so fucking stupid? So
it kind of got worse.
It has, unfortunately. So you know how I always say that PlayStation are great.
Yeah.
But for every 2 steps forwards they take 1 step back.
Yeah. So they're like 1, 2, roly poly, yay!
Yeah. That's what they do. And Sean got first-hand experience of this.
Okay.
So PlayStation Plus has launched worldwide. It's out there.
Yeah.
They launched it, and you know how they said there was going to be like 740 games?
Yeah.
Over-delivered. Apparently there's over 800 games, the official count says.
Let me pause you right there. This is what we're always talking about. Sony, under promise, over deliver.
Exactly.
Sony, good guy Sony.
Exactly.
How can it get worse?
I mean, it's fantastic. You get all of these games. Yeah. If you're not like us, where we buy the games as they come out and whatnot, right, and games that we're interested in, it's not really for you. But if you're not one of those people, then hey, this is a great service for you. You get to play all of these great games. There's a ton of PlayStation games on there as well. Yeah. Ones that have defined the industry and defined the generations. Great. However, they've done something really dumb. So you know how on the extra tier, you get PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation 5 games. Yeah. Not all of them, but a select catalogue.
Yeah, and still a bunch.
A bunch of them, and there's still a very great number of them. And you need to upgrade to the premium level if you want to get the classic games.
Yeah, PS1,
PS2, PS3, PSP games. PlayStation have done the stupidest thing where they have categorized a bunch of PlayStation 3 games that have been remastered and made PlayStation 4 games as classic games. So, for example...
that's not how that works.
Yeah, exactly. It's not how it works, and it's fucking dumb, Sony. Sean tried to play a Harry Potter Lego game that was a PS3 game that had been remastered.
That was good fun, that game. I played that for a bit,
Remastered and made into a PlayStation 4 game. This is if you go into the shop, it says PlayStation 4 on it. You pick up PlayStation 4 book, it goes in your PS4. This isn't backwards compatibility. Yeah. This isn't streaming or anything like that. This is a PlayStation 4 game. But they've categorized it as a classic game because it's a remaster. That's like saying The Last of Us is a classic game, but when you want to play the remastered version. Fucking hell, Sony, why do you have to do dumb shit like this? I'm going to read out his comment that he wrote on Discord, right here. It says, speaking of the new PlayStation Plus, Sony fucked up. Fucked it up like usual, because if a game is a remaster or a remake, you need to have the premium tier. I have the extra tier. I wanted to play Lego Harry Potter, but it wasn't allowed because I needed the premium member, which is confusing because I played Saints Row the Third, which is a remaster. As I said, it's only a select number of games.
That's dumb, isn't it?
It's fucking... there's no clear line. If it was a clear line, then maybe we'd go...
If The Last of Us was stuck in that tier,
Yeah.
I'd say that's incredibly stupid, but at least it's everything.
Right.
If the game originally came out on anything before the PS4, it is considered a classic.
Right.
Okay.
But it's fucking arbitrary, it seems like. He continues to go, he also said that I had to stream the game instead of downloading it, but it's a PS4 game. Again, another dumb thing. Why are you doing this, Sony, to yourselves?
That's, yeah.
Fucking hell.
This is a case of what probably happened was somebody like a junior or an intern or something was like categorizing this stuff, because this feels like bitch work, right? This is stuff you get the apprentice to do or something, right? It's not something you get your lead guys to do. And they went, okay, what's this game? Because they don't play games probably. They're like, oh, Last of Us, PS3, okay, Last of Us, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then a different guy was like, oh yeah, it's a PS4 game. Yeah, it goes on PS4. So it's a couple of dudes separating stuff. And then they're like, well, it's a PS2 game. Okay, you must stream it, you know?
Fucking dumb.
But again, where's their supervisor checking their work, right? So this is a Sony issue. I don't care. I made up that story, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Because honestly, it doesn't seem like... Because if it was everything, like we said, then it's a rule. That's why they've done it.
Right.
But it seems arbitrary. It seems like they've just picked a couple of games and they're like, you know what? These are PS3 games in our eyes. Streaming and on the premium tier.
Yeah.
But it's a PS4 game.
If it's stupid, but it's applied universally, it's stupid, but I can at least accept it.
Yeah, that's a decision they've made.
Yeah. You're like, this is stupid. This makes no sense. But at least it applies to everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you're the only person that doesn't have a phone, or like everybody has like Virgin internet, but you have dial-up, it's awful. But if no one has the same thing, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat. Sony, what are you doing?
I don't know, man. They're just... I swear they're just walking around with opportunities to look for rakes to step on. They're like, is that a rake over there? No, it's just a garden. Oh, that's a rake! Up! Boom!
Yeah. Sony, 1,000 Hail Marys and 5 seppukus, okay, to make this right. Also, you have to make it right.
Like that. Hell. Why is that a thing?
In fairness, maybe it's like growing pains.
Maybe, yeah.
And I'm sure some experts are going to say, well, Game Pass never had any growing pains. One, can't verify it, never had it. Why would I? Two, at least there are games to play on this service.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh.
But like, if it's one of those things that like in a couple of months it's resolved, like, it will suck, and it sucks that Sean had to experience that. Get fricked. That's why he should have been... Is he a Super Bro?
Yeah, he is.
Shit. That's why you should be on the $69 tier. Exactly. These things don't happen. It's good luck. You're buying good luck.
Talk to the people on the $69 tier. They'll never say anything bad. They'll never say anything
Exactly.
bad.
They're so busy you'll never hear from them.
Exactly.
Like, it sucks that you had to experience it, but if in a couple of months it's sort of resolved, and like for the next 10 years, 20 years, it just works.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Like, okay.
I get the feeling that there is a lot of growing pains. Like with anything Sony does, when they do the first version, it's always like a little bit shaky, and then they get a little bit better into it. I just love it. It's that moment every single time. When I see something like this happen from Sony, I'm just like, of course, of course.
Like, I was gonna, if the PS3 games had been ridiculously popular, I would have taken that news and gone, okay, we actually need to give them like a couple of weeks, because I wouldn't be surprised if this takes down servers and stuff like that, right? Even Call of Duty, the biggest FPS games out there, we always said, as guys that often got the game early, you got to give it like a couple of weeks for the servers to settle down, because they always get flooded, right? That's the biggest games ever where they're expecting millions and they still get it wrong.
Yeah.
So if it had been a case of like, I tried to stream, but there's serious lag issues, I would have said,
chill out. Yeah.
It's the brand new service. They didn't know what to expect. It'll take a couple of weeks for things to settle down. But this is just stupid.
Yeah.
This is just dumb.
I was going to say as well that like, I haven't heard anything bad about PS Plus since it's come out.
Yeah.
This is the first thing I've heard that's bad about it.
Right.
And I was like, of course it's going to happen. And sorry, you're never going to get anything perfect.
Right.
But outside of that, though, I haven't heard anything bad. There is one thing I've heard, and I could have called this, because as I said to you, I don't like playing very many old games. I don't really see that. I see the new things as far better. A lot of people are commenting like, hey, PlayStation Plus Premium has launched. I played 5 minutes of a game and then I just went back to playing whatever I was playing before. That's literally how it is, man.
That's...
You guys that were banging on about backwards compatibility for like the oldest games, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're not gonna play them as much as you think, and this proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, we've said this. We always say this. This is that extra cheeseburger you get with your like McDonald's, and you finish your like Big Mac and all that stuff, and then realize actually you're full.
Yeah.
You thought you wanted that cheeseburger, but you don't. Like 90% of people that say they want it aren't going to use it, and the 10% of people that really do want to use it probably have all of their own stuff. Like as if like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 old consoles there. Those people, like Harry, our friend's a retro games like collector. He went out and bought one of those old CRTVs so that he didn't have to have like an adapter specifically so he could play it the way it was when he played it.
To feel that true way.
Right, it was a SNES or something I think he was trying to play. Yeah. Like, that's how those guys want to play that stuff.
SNES, don't say SNES. Don't say SNES.
You're not one of those guys that said the names.
Don't say SNES. It's
you
SNES.
said the no, it's not SNES.
SNES.
It's SNES.
It's the way it is.
It's a SNES.
No, it's an SNES.
Are you really? Tell me you're.
Listen, you standing wiping animal.
Tell me this is a bit.
No, it's SNES.
No.
SNES, guys.
I'm okay.
In the chat, in capitals.
This is far more
SNES.
divisive than how do you wipe, right?
Let him know in the comment section how stupid he is, okay?
Stupid. You're the guy that has to pick a side. If you go into a store and there's no space on one side, you're going to have to lean... What, are you going to wipe with your left hand?
Listen, mister, I didn't know there's pictures in comics.
Damn.
It's just
damn.
We're getting real.
Shit. Well, no, I mean, I concede. One idiot.
Yeah.
What stupid thing to do?
Yeah, fucking dumb.
Although, in fairness, for problems to have with your console and the leadership and decision making, we're getting off pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not like they're not introducing microtransactions and stuff.
Right.
They're not ruining yet. They're not ruining their bread and butter with like story-based games. I know they're coming out with a lot of multiplayer games now, which could ruin things. That's why I said yet.
Yeah.
But at least right now, we're still getting the great stuff that we love from them, and it's fair.
A majority of the titles that they have on their service are things you actually want to play.
Yeah. So we should be counting our blessings, really. They could go all EA on us. Speaking of EA, our next topic, apparently EA are working on a brand new Marvel game. Now, we don't know anything about what Marvel IP it is, so let's get that out of the way first of all.
Okay.
All we know right now is that it's EA and a Marvel game.
Okay.
I have to assume it's going to be filled with microtransactions and loot boxes, because it's EA.
The worst thing is something like an Avengers game makes sense to me for microtransactions. There's so many different costumes that you can have for the heroes. That makes sense. The problem is I think they're going to EA it and pull a Battlefront 2 and just deeply embed it to the point that they have to gut the game and take it down to a 10-man skeleton team to run after they realise they can't rape people.
Yeah, and I'm worried that they'll do a Battlefront 2, the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good.
Very phoned in. But the main chick in it was hot as balls.
And she was good. She was a good actress.
And she's very talented, yeah.
I'm just worried that that's what they'll do. They'll do the bare minimum, something just bare. Just it's a game. It's got a single player, call it that. And then they'll do a multiplayer thing, and then just tack on all this possibilities for like skins and microtransactions. Maybe chuck some NFTs in there, even though NFTs are dying.
Yeah.
And then go, yeah, there you go. That's our Marvel game, guys. Come and buy it because we are. We are EA and we're big and stuff like that.
Right,
no one cares.
They're just EA. They're going to EA it, and they bank on the fact that they are EA, and that we all have fond memories from like the late '90s, early 2000s of like that EA
games.
Yeah.
It's in the game.
It's in the game. Like, and I do have fond memories of hearing that.
Everything.
Yes, I do have fond memories of that, but I don't have fond memories of EA. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, frick you, EA. Don't mess it up. Avengers is a cool thing. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mess it up. Yeah.
Or it could be anything else, though. I mean, it's just Marvel, they said there. So it could be a,
correction,
could be a bunch of things.
Marvel.
It could be a Captain Marvel.
What everybody wants.
Everybody's been begging for
focus on making a good game, and then once it's made and it's good, then worry about, is there a reasonable place for microtransactions to work in it? And if the answer's no, Don't just shove them in anyway.
Listen, if a game doesn't have a rock-steady foundation, microtransactions, then how can a game even be built on top of anything? Right. That's the way EA see it. Like,
well, they look at it and they go...
cards.
They look at it and they go, how can we take FIFA and put it into this? Yeah. So that they have to buy a new one every year. When they get it, it's nothing but microtransactions and surprise mechanics. Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't get how those games still sell.
I saw an old reaction of someone opening up FIFA packs.
Yeah.
And like characters coming out of it, with characters, real people, actually.
Right?
Real footballers coming out of it, but in the game, and the excitement level, the stupid level of like, oh my god, and I was just like,
yeah, it's a footballer. You're playing a football game. It's not like.
So you're playing as that guy?
Yeah, it's not like Kratos comes out and you're like, finally I got Kratos on my team and you're just going to slaughter West Ham.
Right. And then I was like, but then even then I was like, but why this level of reaction?
Right.
Anyway.
Because it's fake. Yeah. It's like, it's the TikTok cringe, you know, how they move and do all that. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes of making some of that stuff?
No.
I watched one person doing it and I'm like, fucking hell, you look an idiot. Like, I know that most of the time recording yourself is a bit like an idiot. Yeah, yeah. Like, if you ever try and do a vlog in public, you feel like the biggest dickhead in the world.
It's awful.
Like, wait for this person to go by and then I'll start.
Yeah.
What's happening? Oh, shit. What's going on?
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. But even in your own home doing that stuff, I'm like, oh my God, that's weird. That's
why if you watch any good vlogs, all of the content happens generally when they're not around people. So like someone takes you on like their ski trip. It's never in the chalet. No. It's always in on the ski lift or going down the slope, right? Everybody's focused on skiing, right? There's a reason for that. Yeah.
It's one thing I will say is though, is that because it's become more accepting to be like vlogging or TikToking or whatever it is, something like that. At least if you're in a younger crowd, they're not going to be so judgmental because they're also doing it all the time.
I feel like maybe they will still, and I hope they do. I hope they do. I
took away my one saving grace. Now
I cannot stand it when like you'll look out a window and you see people making like TikTok dances or something in a park or something, and you're like, you're in a park, enjoy, touch that grass.
Touch
for me.
that grass right there.
Just stop doing exactly what you're doing because you're getting 12 views, man. Like you're not going to be the next. Insert big TikToker here.
You're not going to be the next Eddie or Sheps. Come on.
Right, exactly. It's not going to be a YouTube sensation like we are.
Exactly.
Just stop.
Let me just check if there was any more topics.
No,
there was one mildly interesting thing. It was interesting to me because it was Destiny 2 related. Have you heard about this whole Destiny DMCA drama that's been going on?
No.
So, at one point, someone was flagging all of Destiny content creators.
Okay.
And it seemed like it was obviously Bungie because that's what it was coming up as on the DMCA. It's like, yo, Bungie, you're flagging all this content. And it was like, maybe like 50 Destiny YouTubers were all like, yo, what's happening? Why are you doing this? And it seemed malicious. Destiny came out and Bungie came out and they were like, this isn't us. We didn't do any of this.
Yeah.
It was like, well, who else is doing it then? You're the copyright holders. Yeah. After a bit of investigation, they were like, we found out who it is. We're not going to mention who they are, but all of that stuff's been taken care of and it's not going to be bad. Anyway, it's come out recently that it was a Destiny 2 YouTuber who was flagging other Destiny 2 YouTubers.
That's disgusting.
Fucking disgusting, right? Apparently what happened was he got flagged one time for using one of the songs and he felt like he was being picked on, like it was just him. Yeah. So then he decided to then make a fake Gmail account that looked similar to the people who do the DMCA takedowns and then flag everybody else in the community as if that's going to solve your problem.
Also, like, that's such a gross abuse because the DMCA stuff has a real big problem as it is. And there's, like, no repercussions for doing it. Now, it doesn't affect us, really, but if you were a full-time YouTuber making, like, actual income, you can't even sue for that ad revenue back. No. Even though, like, you could make a compelling case from the time that it went up to the time that it went down, this video gained this many views, this is my CPM, right? But, like, it impacts, like, how hard YouTube pushes the video, impacts so much stuff, like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Somebody might have lost a week's worth of their wages off of that, and there's nothing they can do because one guy's a loser. Yeah. What douchebag.
It's so fucking bad.
On that note, though, maybe we should make some things and just DMCA the boys. Just like James, every video, DMCA, mate. Can't
mate.
use that. Yeah,
You can't use that.
you actually used English. We use English in our words in our video, so I'm afraid that's copyright.
You mentioned Batman or Superman. That's our territory. Unfortunately, you can't do that.
That's a real fact.
What happened in the end, though, is that Bungie sued that guy for $7.6 million.
Does he have it?
Obviously not. Definitely not. But it's what's really funny about this is that I do like that Bungie's done this because it shows like they take people to town when they do something wrong. But what's really bad is that it's a fraudulent DMCA issue. It's only happening though. The repercussions are only happening because it's a regular dude.
Yeah.
If it was a fraudulent DMCA by a big company, it'd be like, right, we'll just let it slide. Don't worry about it. It kind of grinds my gears a little bit. Anyway, that happened there.
I love the idea of like they're acting as if, okay, this guy who damaged all these creators, those creators have a bad impression of us. So we're the real victim. We're going to sue this guy who damaged these other people. Yeah. Because he damaged our brand.
Yeah. Not because it was bad, what he did.
Right.
But because it makes us look bad.
Right.
Anyway, bro, let's kick it over to our Discord server where a couple of guys are written in about today's topics. First of all, we've got Diogo. And he writes in and says, PlayStation suck. I agree. I'll just take this t-shirt off just 1 second.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the PlayStation Plus Premium now that it's out? Have you tried it? He says, I kind of want to try some of the PS1, PS2 games that are on there. He says in brackets, buying them separately. But I'll wait until the library expands first, making it before making my choice. Just wish it was easier to search for those games in the main PS Store, since you can't filter by PS1, PS2, PSP, or PS3.
The PS Store's search has always sucked.
Do you know what? There are worse searches out there.
Amazon.
Like the Xbox One is pretty bad. Amazon's fucking awful. But fucking hell, it's not great.
It's Amazon on like the PlayStation search, like that specifically sucks.
Terrible stuff. But it's not great. There's like, for example, when you search, say Spider-Man, for example, it comes up with all the different versions of Spider-Man as well. Like you think the PS4 version and the PS5 version will be in the same thing. Instead, you're like Spider-Man, 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 and then the next thing is for fuck's sake, you're taking up all the screen. Anyway, how have you tried anything from the PS Plus?
No, I like new games.
Dickhead.
But for real, like it's just not really for me. I might look for a couple PS1, PS2 games, but like not really.
I haven't tried anything from the classic stuff yet. I have looked at Resistance 3 again because I'm such a Resistance simp.
Weirdo, man.
I looked for Killzone. The only thing they have on there is Killzone Shadowfall, which came out on the PS4.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking hell, have you not got all the old Killzone games on there? Other than that, though, I haven't touched any of the other classic games. I have gone in and then downloaded a couple of stuff off the extra tier. Ghost Runner, that Cyberpunk slashing thing.
Yeah.
The PS5 version is on there, which is fucking awesome.
That's cool. I
want to try that out. I never got to play that one, so that's something I want to try out there. Tetris Effect, which Sean wrote in about, I want to try that as well on there. There was a game that came out. I think it was a day one release as well that came out on the service, but it's a small game, so I don't think people would checked it out. And it was called Deep Space or something like that.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it as well. I saw it and I was like, this looks like, I put it in like newest first.
Right.
And I saw that one on now and it said the release date was today and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a brand new game. So I downloaded that as well to check that out.
We do always say we like new games and that's pretty freaking new.
And I did download Killzone Shadowfall again just so I can see what it looks like on the new system because I haven't tried it on PS5.
Yeah. Still clunky.
Yeah. The new PlayStation Plus tier, just to give you my thoughts, it still isn't for me because we've got the new games and we always buy our new games. We always play them. And everything that's on there I've already played that I'm interested in. There's a few games, like I said, now that I can try out. However, if you're not the person that buys every new game that you want to try straight away, this is the best deal in gaming.
Yeah, I agree.
Like people are like, "Oh, Game Pass is the best." This is the best deal in gaming.
No, because this includes so many incredible titles like AAAs, as well as a backlog of massive games from many different eras. Yeah.
Like, Xbox Game Pass is great and it has its own set of games and stuff like that, but it doesn't have the generation-defining games like God of War, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, The Last of Us, because they're PlayStation exclusive. Knack, exactly. But they do have them on this service. And
it's
that
at a
makes
point where the only thing Game Pass has is day of release stuff.
Exactly.
But that's for some things and nothing exclusive.
And then when you consider that, when was the last time you got a day of release Xbox Studios game? Halo? And then we saw how that turned out. Forza? All right, I'll give you that.
Fair enough for Forza, yeah.
But Xbox isn't producing games, so it's like, okay, so that sort of invalidates that one thing over there.
Right, and if your argument is, well, I like games, all my games don't have to be new, I like going to see the backlog, the back catalogue, I should say. Well, the best back catalogue is here. It is better.
Because it has the PlayStation has the bigger generation of...
Right, and I'm not saying there aren't things... There isn't a game on Game Pass that you would rather play than another similar game on here, but I'm just saying, in general, the catalogue is bigger and better.
Yeah.
So if you're not saying you want the day one releases and it's for the back catalogue, then this is actually the better service.
Yeah.
Plus, the back catalogue has a lot of newer exclusives, like you said, God of War, Last of Us. Like, how do you beat that?
Yeah. I'm interested to see how the trials go, because right now it's got it's got Horizon Forbidden West on there, and it's got other games on there, Cyberpunk and all stuff like that. But they're games that I have played and I do have. So, but I'm interested to see how it goes forward. Crucially, everyone's going to be looking to God of War Ragnarok to see if they get that trial as well.
Yeah,
I think it's only going to be a benefit to them. I think it's going to be really great.
that's
like I said, not for me. But this does seem like a really good gaming proposition, and it doesn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? The cannibalizing factor of putting your day one games on there and then losing all of that revenue that then goes into the productions of even more games. Yeah. That's the only bit that I care about. Not that Sony's going to get more money; it's that my next game is going to have less funding now.
Right. It's funny you mentioned Ragnarok for the trials, because I was thinking of if any game doesn't need it, it's going to be Ragnarok. But if any game was one you should try it on, you should trial it knowing you're going to buy it anyway, so you can see how seamless that effect actually is. You can experience it. I think that's a good idea.
I wonder if PlayStation will ever release any sort of stats on like how trials go, like how many people download trials, and because it is going to be for every game above 35.
This many trials have been done.
And how many conversions that does.
Right. This many people went on to buy the game.
This
many hours have been played in trials. Yeah. That would be useful to know. I mean, they will certainly know those numbers, but...
Yeah, and the thing is, the people that are most likely to give us as well is PlayStation.
I was going to say, they actually do let us know a lot of these numbers, so...
Whenever it comes to those financial year breakdowns, it's very detailed stuff, so it's possible.
Like we said, Japanese businessmen.
Yeah.
You know? If the cost of a screw goes up, we'll know.
It's treating the people you're presenting the information with respect.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
like,
it is.
Cool. We know they're going to see that we're trying to be shady, so we're not going to be shady.
Yeah.
They're not
Sunlight's
idiots.
the best disinfectant, isn't it?
Exactly.
We read Sean's.
Yep.
That's back to Diogo agreeing. Some of the Arkham Remasters. Yep. Pantaloon says, first off, why did Adele cross the road to say hello from the other side? Anyway, I'll do it later. Well, Pantaloons, sir, you have not thought of a question, Ben. BS Bro #1 says, still no date on Star Trek Resurgence. Quilelelelelele. Shut the frick up.
Not Star Trek Resurgence.
Right, the most awaited game of 2022. And this feels like the company is being bad. They should have put some... I love that he's actually making a comment about Star Trek Resurgence.
This is his
anyone
thing.
But him cares. They should have put out some kind of message for the missed release date, even just to say sorry that it hasn't released, and that, but they're being quiet. We've got radio silence from them. The current release date is in the past, and this is the first time I've seen something like this.
Hold on.
That's bad.
That is bad. The release date is in the past, and they still haven't said anything.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That is bad.
Star Trek Research. I'm going to fucking do a Google search while you're reading the rest of it.
He says, I take the Kojima game in the style of the boys. Haven't played any Kojima games, so this is really just based on him supposedly being great and the genre being right up my alley. PS5 Slim, I don't really care 4 because it probably it probably really will be the PS6 for me unless I get a portable PSP or Vita style console in the meantime. I think he's saying if he gets a PlayStation, it'll be the next generation.
Can I just quickly interject with something? There was a minor topic that came up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to present this because there's not really any information. One Twitter page, fuck, I didn't save the thing because it was so minor.
Yeah.
One Twitter page posted the corner of a device that was running PlayStation 4 software. And it looked like it was PlayStation branded, and it was a handheld console.
Ooh.
And it was like,
That's
coming
interesting.
soon. And that was it.
P2P.
Well, PlayStation Portable 2. And no one knows what it was. A bunch of people tried to like reverse engineer the picture and find out what it's from, if it's like the corner of, because usually when it's fake like this, it's usually a CG render on like an art website.
Yeah.
And someone's cocked up and
Or it's in the metadata of
cooked
the...
up.
Right.
Someone's cooked up and they've just taken the corner and that's why it's fake or something like that. But no one's been able to find it. And there's people talking around. It's like, I've heard something of a PlayStation hardware portable.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know how to present this to you, but
because it's weird because
a portable console from PlayStation again.
I wouldn't mind it. That would be kind of cool. I feel like I have space for portable gaming in my life, and I mean in a sense of like not mobile games. I don't vibe with mobile games, but having like something handheld. And realistically, a Switch is kind of big. And it's trying to be a premium game. Like although actually The Witcher 3 ran really well on that Switch when we played it, it's kind of not the right game for portable handheld game. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Personally, yeah.
So I could definitely see space for me, like if I were going up to London with my girl or something. Obviously, I don't want to talk to her. I want to ignore her. Just whip out my P2P.
Noise cancelling headphones.
Right, exactly. The full like. Put the earbuds in, that's what it's going through, and then noise-cancelling headphones around that. So there's no chance she can annoy me. And then play my, like, 5-hour-long, Spider-Man game or something, So, for me, portable gaming, totally different to mobile, and not a Switch, has a soft spot in my heart. And especially with how powerful stuff is now, we could get stuff like the OG Uncharted, for example. We could maybe do it. I know I just said The Witcher, relax. Look, there's too much, but you know what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I could.
I would be very interested in that. I was upset with the death of the Vita.
Yeah, that hit you quite hard.
Hit me hard, but hey, I'm always open to love again. So let's do it.
Let me just finish up.
Go ahead.
Alpha's comment here, who says it's weirder than ever to see games like A Plague Tale Requiem. Maybe it's also coming to PSP, PS Plus, coming to PS5, Series X and S, and Game Pass, but not a PlayStation service. People with both consoles will either pay a low cost for access, plus quick resume, or full price for an upgraded controller, plus game cards, trophies, etc. Just funny assuming that games perform as well on both consoles, which they don't.
There's always differences, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll start to announce games that come to PS Plus like games do in release date trailers with Game Pass. Yeah, maybe. We've said we hope they never do the game day of release. I think that's a bad idea. Yeah. I just think that's a bad idea.
The next comment. Okay, we have a question here from Tailgate.
Yeah.
He says, I don't have anything to say about the topics, but anyway, here's a question from me. Okay, let's put it here. It says, Eddie and Sheps, you guys chat. What? Eddie Sheps, you guys in the chat. What is your wildest game dev acquisition prediction? Wildest acquisition prediction. Does it have to be in the realm of possibility, do you think?
Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, Sony buy Microsoft. Like, can't happen.
This is never going to happen.
Never going to happen. Amazon buy both of them and just never make any games.
That's it. Speaking of that, Amazon buying like Take-Two or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, like GTA is just owned by.
It's funny because that was going to be my thing. I think Amazon's going to move into this space.
That's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
I could see them doing it. Yeah.
It's either that is my wild game prediction, or KFC actually do bring out that console,
mate,
and it bangs.
Yeah. And it has the chicken warmer tray in it. Done.
And this is the craziest thing. Whatever promo material they show of the console, when it comes to us, it will look that way. If it has a certain color, it will be that color when you play the game.
The red light around it will actually be red. It won't just suddenly change to white.
Oh. Shuhei.
Shuhei. Have you seen that meme that's going around there? People use it all the time whenever there's a typo or whenever something goes bad. It's the Eminem guy, and they've crossed out the name at the bottom, and they're like, Eddie. Well, in our community, it's everywhere. You should see it. It's just I'm the source of all their problems, basically. And
you're very gifable as well.
Thank you so much. I try.
I mean, for me, I think if Amazon buys somebody, I could see like Take-Two or Rocksteady or something like that.
Speaking of Take-Two, Sean writes it. He says, in response to Tailgate's question, he says, wildest one for me would be Sony acquiring Take-Two. And that would mean they would own GTA. Also, Sony was dumb not buying Supermassive games when they released Until Dawn. Yeah, I could see that. The Sony acquiring Take-Two, that's been one of those ridiculous rumors that have been going around for ages. But, I mean, in with the... GTA 6 rumors, like it's coming this year type kind of
It's not as dumb as that, because there have been contracts with Take-Two. We covered this a bunch of times where they were like official, they have a relationship, right? And they've done work, or they've worked together, and they've been like exclusivity deals for like GTA DLC and stuff that come like a month early on PlayStation. So there are working relationships in place. So in that sense, it's not so ridiculous. However, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And they should have done it. Hey. No, that's a lie. I don't want people buying up. That's not the space I want to be in. But if Xbox is going to keep buying shit, then
end of the day, we have
Where's Square Enix? Where's the Square? Seriously, that's the acquisition, because
this the thing they've done magic behind the scenes, and a lot of people are angry about this, but. It seems like no games are coming to Xbox anyway from Square Enix. Yeah. Well, not only the big ones like Final Fantasy games now. So, whatever they've done, they didn't need to purchase them. They've got their exclusivity anyway.
Well, you definitely don't want Xbox buying Square Enix, because they just won't make any more games. How long have they had Rare? And my Banjo-Kazooie is only just, they were like scraping the bottom of the barrel. So I was like, oh, hey, these games.
Been rumored, yeah. Ugh. And then there's a picture in that same Discord channel as well. It's like, this week we saw Eddie's true colors. Adriana bought some donuts.
Yeah.
And she bought an Xbox and Forza donut.
On purpose?
On purpose, just to fuck with me. And I was like, hey, I'm the official Sony pony of the community. That's right. How could you do this to me? And she took the Xbox
on the Patreon,
thing that was
you even
on
have the pony butt plug tail. That is definitely a Conbrosations podcast joke that I should have made.
Anyway, that's everything there. Yeah, that's all the comments there. Thank you guys for writing in to the Trigger podcast, and that's everything that we have for this show as well. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode. We will catch you guys all in the next one. Yeah. Next episode, we will have a special guest with us.
That's right.
We won't mention who it is, but they're
special in the like Windows are delicious special, not like talented and.
You can infer from that, and you probably be able to guess it. We've given away too much.
Yeah, we might as well have just said his, might as well have said his name.
We might as well have just said.
He's the hoisted by his own petard kind of. You know what I'm saying?
He's a very big petard.
He's a huge petard. So stupid.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one. It'll be a good episode, hopefully. Thank you all for being awesome, supporting us over on Patreon, here, everywhere. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Much love. Don't forget to like the video only at the very end.
That's fine. I'm sure everyone made it to this point.
Of course, yeah. We don't have any audience drop off.
Exactly. Right. When we go to the YouTube stats, it's just
steady.
100%.
It's everybody turns up and then they stick. like super glue.